This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. This show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock on the old atomic clock on the wall. This is The Show on Q Talk America. We are coming off the fresh heels of last week's show entitled Asshole, parenthetically, Happy Birthday, Mark Sanchez. If you missed it, dig it up, find it, listen to it. It was a stellar show.
Sure.
We thought it was.
Sure it was. It was a really good time.
We may or may not have been a little loaded last week. I don't know if that factors in.
We may or may not have really kind of started a trend in my life and my listenership of just calling everybody asshole all day.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. No, it's continued into the week.
You've extended.
I've spent all week like picking up my phone going, oh yay, somebody sent me a text message, and all it says is asshole. You know how you get excited when you're like, oh, someone sent me a message. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Asshole.
God damn. I don't know how that works out with you as you're still on your star tour, your bartender star tour. I don't know how that's worked out customer service wise.
What, the asshole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. Luckily, I'm in a whole new pond on my celebrity star tour, so I'm actually getting to meet really great new people that I didn't know before.
Oh no, I just didn't know if asshole was translating across the bar or if you've not.
Clearly, I'm on my best behavior right now.
Okay, well, no best behavior this evening, boys and girls. It's The Show on Q Talk America. Al Perkins is a tardy, but look at you pouring wine like a stellar part of our cat.
Asshole. I am on it.
I see you brought your peanuts. Did you bring raspberries too? She's very busy and they're doing all kinds of stuff. Marnie Courtney just texted me. She's running late. I don't know why.
That's so weird.
She asked me not to look surprised when she walks in, but we'll see how that's going to work. Oh, so much going on. Well, welcome everybody listening and all the ships at sea. We are here again on this Tuesday night. Thank you for joining us. In the chat room, if you care to, please do join us in the chat room. You can find it by going to qtalkamerica.com, and there's a banner at the top of the page that says chat. It'll take you right to our page, and you can already see that myself and Kat Carlson are in the chat room. So join us with that. Let us know what you are doing, where you are. We would like to say, of course, hello to Canada, who's listening live, and
hello,
a few people
Canada.
in the United States. Maybe not the contiguous. Maybe they're in Alaska or in the Hawaii.
Hawaii.
The Hawaii.
Yeah. Who is not yet, as I understand, has not yet been completely taken over by hot molten lava.
Oh, I haven't done
Portions
a lava
are.
follow-up.
No, I haven't either. I haven't actually.
I'm going to do that.
I think it's actually taken.
Write it down.
It's actually not as popular on the news feeds as of late because something else must have taken over.
Because the lava thing's been happening for 2 months and is just still kind of creeping along.
So I wonder what overshadowed the
time.
lava feed in. Was it Adrian Peterson getting suspended until I don't know, when Christ comes back in football or I don't know.
Yes, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone forever. Marnie Ryer is here wearing her K-Fan Sports Radio AM 1130 t-shirt.
Yeah.
What is it? Where is that from?
What team is that?
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, they have their own radio network?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Did Prince put that together for him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Because there's no purple rain happening here. Not at all.
They've never rained.
Do you think... I
don't mean rain. I mean...
Rain.
Now, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Have we ever had this discussion? Is the purple for Prince any connection to the Vikings? Is there any?
No.
Because I know he has his own suite at the at the
He
former
does,
stadium.
Yeah. He peeks out over the thing.
Oh, right.
So it's small. But yeah, no, he at the Metrodome he did, and he will at the new stadium.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that.
And I'm guessing he don't. I'm going to assume he throws some coin at that.
Oh.
Yeah, to have his own little studio.
Yeah,
or
it's not
what do you call it?
inexpensive. I have one.
Oh, yes, of course you do.
So I got the T-shirt.
Yes, I'm sure. I wonder if they'll ever let us come back and do a live broadcast from there.
Fun. Well, PA is a friend.
Who?
Paul Allen.
Oh.
PA, who's the announcer for the Minnesota Vikings. He's not a friend.
Oh, no, you have no idea.
He's lovely. He's a very fun announcer, though.
Okay.
He's very cool. And so, yeah, I think that'd be very fun.
Molly is in the chair. Missy, it sucks. He's not in upstate right now. Oh, yeah. Al got out of New York, though it's on the other side of the state. You got out of New York in time. 6 feet, and it's coming down. Last I heard, 3 inches an hour, still coming down in Buffalo.
Yeah, and luckily my family's up in Niagara Falls, so they're not getting it. They're not getting it like that.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, because
okay, I thought you guys.
That's why it's always very important to say that I'm from Niagara Falls, not Buffalo, because Niagara
where it's
Falls
gonna hit.
does not get the snow that Buffalo does.
I just always assume, because I just remember you're from Buff. You did Buff State,
Right,
You did
yeah.
all that. I always think you were from there.
That's the big town nearby.
Gotcha.
But yeah, luckily there's this lake and river that betwixt us that
Yeah.
makes all the fucking difference.
But geographically, I don't have that picture. So like if they
We're
say
like 20
it's
miles
in,
north.
but see, 20 miles seems like that. In
That's
Minnesota,
across the
like, if
that's
it's
across the
fucking-
valley
yeah.
from here.
But
If it's snowing in northern Minnesota,
and
it's
just,
snowing.
You know,
the
we're-
whole thing.
because of where Lake Erie's, like we're not on Lake Erie, we're closer to Ontario, and there's a whole it's a whole little microclimate
Weather
there.
pattern.
Yeah.
Well, not the microclimate. There we go.
May I
Oh,
give you guys your presents
You could.
early?
Well, Mike, I didn't. We weren't ready for this yet, Marty.
I know,
My
but I'm
gosh.
excited.
There's gifts.
There are gifts.
Okay.
Especially
Is this like a
for
white
Al.
elephant?
Got
Should
it.
I have brought something?
Oh, I like when the phrase "especially for Al" happened.
Pull that
I
mic
know.
closer to you, Allie.
Actually, it's
There's
for
some
everyone.
liquor happening
there you
there.
go.
It's for everyone. But
Oh, a communal.
I feel
is
moonshine's coming out
Harrison
of that
in that?
bag.
Is
I don't
no.
see Harrison yet. Laura's there. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. Oh,
Hey,
well,
Laura.
Harrison's not there yet. We'll have to show her later.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna wait. Oh, we're not gonna wait.
No.
Oh, fuck it. All right, go.
Okay.
It's all right.
This is for your dressing up needs.
Oh, good.
When does he do that? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Clearly not today. Oh, camo.
What?
Because he didn't know what camo was last week,
No,
right?
but now you have camouflage dress socks.
I have fancy.
I'm doing it.
Fancy.
I know. Are you going to do it
camo
now?
socks.
Kat Carlson, ladies and
Atta
gentlemen, is
girl.
going to...
Atta girl.
It's a shame you're
She's
back.
not going to let a trend pass her.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, she's going to turn that
I-
way. So she can... Oh, look at that. People can watch this as it's happening on
Enjoying it.
our feed.
Last week when I
look at
had to
that.
leave quickly to go to Target,
Yes.
I got in there and I'm doing my thing and I had a couple extra minutes, so I looked at.
Look at those cats.
That's good stuff.
Look at those gams.
I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
That's what dreams are made of.
I'm telling you.
Camouflage socks.
And I looked and I was like in the $1 and the $3 kind of thing. I'm walking around and I burst out laughing. There were 3 pair of those left. And
Yeah.
I said, well,
Well, that's unfortunate that you don't have
I
a pair.
know. I'll have to look.
I'm going to probably switch too because the socks I got on are pretty shitty.
See? I know.
They were probably
I-
ones that were not
Oh,
going to make it back to a laundry
Take
basket.
that picture, Kat. That's good.
So
I take-
anyway, that just
Well,
was
thanks.
stupid and made me laugh, and I thought it was fun.
Thanks, Marnie.
I know. Work
Thank
on
you.
that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right.
Mine sounded mean and sincere.
All at the same
All
time.
at the same time. It really did.
I'm going to put these over here.
I think you should. Don't forget about them
Oh, no, they'll be right there.
No, don't forget
I'm going to
about
save them right there out of camera shot.
for Christmas.
Yes. Oh, for Christmas and when other holidays where camouflage is necessary.
Well, Thanksgiving, you have to camouflage in order to get the turkey. Heaven's sake.
No, you don't. I just go to mom's.
My feet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
We're not shooting one.
No, we're not hunting anything.
No.
My
Bulls-
feet are so warm, and yet
Oh.
I can barely see them.
What happened to your feet?
Where are your feet?
Donde está?
My.
As they say in Univision. Univision.
So nice. It's good.
Fantastic. I like it.
I can't.
You'll be able to tell when I'm not listening because I'll just put my feet up to show off my nice socks.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
I can tell you're not listening just by the fact you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherworldly.
Now, speaking of being here, those are lovely. Those really are
They're
nice.
terrifying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Kind of.
I know.
Doesn't the red kind of end the camouflage dream?
That's what makes them Christmassy.
But it's, I think it's for safety so nobody shoots your feet.
Yeah, totally.
If you're ever in the woods.
Well, or steps on them. I mean,
Well, that's true.
if Cat's just walking around without shoes on.
what are
nobody
those?
can see my feet.
What are those crazy red marks that look like where your feet should be?
Yeah, the blood.
I shot off my
But
toes.
they were clearly
Step on
severed
it.
off. So now an even more microclimate update, because I always forget that my family, my sister's in Niagara Falls, but the rest of the family's on the island.
Okay.
In the Niagara River between the two.
Okay.
And they've had no snow yet. They might get 7 or 8 inches tomorrow, but they're not getting.
But they have
hammered.
to
Okay.
pay to get off the island.
Yes, you have to pay to get off that island.
Yeah. All I remember is that from his stories. Like, what the fuck is that?
Tattoo.
A
Get a-
toll to get off.
Yeah.
Welcome
New
to
Jersey's like that.
Fantasy
You have to
Island.
pay to get out.
If they, I think
New Jersey.
I thought people
Oh.
tried to, I thought the running, just
Right.
running to get out of there.
You got to pay though. They don't let you out.
Yeah, renting my car last
Christie's
summer,
hungry.
I had to remember to get cash because it's all toll roads, and
That's
Puerto Rico
right.
was all toll roads.
That's right.
But they were much nicer in the rental car. Like we used the Easy Pass that was on the window to
Oh,
just drive
okay.
through.
Right.
In New York State, if you do that, it's like a huge service fee to sign it up, and then they charge you all kinds of shit on top of it.
Okay.
we went through all of them, and I think it was like $25-$26. And we hit a good. I mean, we went all the way across the islands. There was a lot of tolls. So if you're renting a car in Puerto Rico, don't stop for toll booth. Just drive through.
Just drive through. Let them pay
Check
for
later
it.
if you got something.
They'll take your picture.
I forget about toll roads until we go back home because we don't. Obviously, in Arizona, I don't think there is one. But wasn't there one proposed here somewhere? They were trying to do some toll road. I forget where, but
I don't know.
I want to say the
I don't
101
remember
was
that.
supposed to be a toll road.
something they were
Okay.
going to do as a
That kind of-
toll.
That would make
That
sense.
seems to ring a bell.
And I don't. Apparently, it's going forward. The one that's going to go the backside of South Mountain off of the 51st Avenue or something is coming to fruition. And I don't know that that's going to be a toll road necessarily, but that's certainly upset a lot of people.
Oh my God, that's gonna save the day though. If you've ever lived down there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
Well,
lived-
Brenda and Robin
terrible.
are way the hell out by the White Tank Mountains,
Mm-hmm.
like at the base of the White Tank Mountains, and it used to take them forever to come in.
Right.
But now the 303 is open. They're like it's like 30 minutes.
Where's
Just,
the White Tank Mountains?
100 and God and California Road.
Or the other
like-
side of Luke Air Force Base.
So south.
The
No,
west.
far
Just-
west.
Just straight west.
Straight
Yeah.
west.
It's they're like on Olive or Dunlap.
Like
And-
300th Avenue or some bullshit.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Way out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck. Oh, no.
It's a ways.
Sounds lovely.
Sounds
yeah,
lovely.
sounds lovely. Can I pack a lunch, please?
It's
Yeah.
definitely a ways. But
Definitely.
now, like I said, 30. Oh, by the way,
What happened? What do you got? What do you got?
aren't those fabulous?
Those are great
Oh,
little.
those are cute.
Those are cute.
I know. They're not like your socks. I love your
Nothing
socks.
is like these socks.
Yeah.
I love your socks, but I couldn't wear them because it'd be a lot
If
of
you need
green
a
and
second,
yellow.
if you need a second pair of those socks, would you let me know?
If my
I have
hands get
extra.
cold, I'm gonna call you.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna fit those into my wardrobe because they're not a black V-neck.
I think they're
no, but
fantastic.
that's the splash.
Oh.
The
Like-
color.
One does want a hint of color.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's not like you can see it anyway. It's
Yeah.
camouflage.
The only,
God sake.
the only thing that separates us from the animals is our
Ability
ability
to accessorize,
accessorize.
yeah.
That's
Yes.
right.
There it
That's
is.
right. All you're gonna see is the red. red and
Another
black.
another week with
Don't tell them.
Goddamn movie.
another week with a movie
You
reference.
are funny with those.
An alleged movie reference.
yeah, exactly. Don't tell them.
Good God. Programming note for those of you who've been keeping score and worrying about this. Next week, next Tuesday night, Katie June rejoins us in the studio. But wait.
Oh,
We're not
there's
losing
more.
Kat Carlson. We're keeping her. We've taken the option to
Hey.
purchase and we're
At least with the option to buy.
we're
Quite the
we're-
bargain you got, too.
We're keeping Kat on staff. We have another microphone already done. In fact, there it is, sitting right there on its own.
But now you did inform her that she's going to get paid less because now there are 5.
Oh yeah, we have to
five-way
split it.
split.
Totally
I
have to split it.
Those
Yeah,
royalties.
yeah.
I mean,
So-
we
It's like Cool in the
all-
Gang. When Cool in the Gang would take the stage, you're like, how are you fuckers making any money? There's like 20 of you.
So-
you got a 6-piece rhythm section.
Do I have to chip in for that?
No,
Yes.
no. We collectively
you missed your chance.
You really
no,
did.
we
Mr.
came
Albert.
we came together and we actually did a GoFundMe.com
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
and we got the $75 and we got a new microphone for you. So yay,
Good.
the
Good.
public
My goodness.
the public wants you, Kat.
It's
Public-
now. I'm just really glad that you actually spent the
They like
75
me.
with the GoFundMe because otherwise, hell to pay in
Well, I was
Arizona,
going to donate it
say.
to the Jodi Arias
Boy, howdy.
trial, but I decided no.
Well, you could have made a rap album for Christ's sake.
Yes, I could have left my kids in the car, and I could have spent it on my
Oh, turn
boyfriend's,
on the goddamn radio,
my
kids.
my boyfriend's.
I feel like you're talking about something I don't know about.
Oh
No, not your boyfriend's. Your baby daddy.
whatever. She
Her
spent
baby,
the.
Are we
her
talking
baby
about-
daddy. That was a quote.
Don't you know? Have you not really kept up with this? The Shanisa Taylor, I think that's her
Sure.
name.
You're real
I'll allow
close.
it.
She's the woman
Yes.
who was at the job interview,
accept
left her
that.
kids in the car, blah blah blah, and then all of that money was donated. Like
$114,000
was donated. The deal was the judge gave her the time, says, look, you've got to set up trust funds for your kids for college or whatever it was, blah, blah, blah. And then when you come back to trial, if that's all been done and you've done for whatever counseling or whatever you're supposed to have gone to, then we'll dismiss the charges. Life will go on. You'll be good. Well, she gets
114 and 30,000 for each kid. I think
Yeah.
it was supposed to
So
go
she
into trust
All right, so all this money comes back. Well, she comes to court and she's like, well,
after getting an extension.
oh, extension, right. She comes to court and she's like, well, I don't have that done. I don't have that done and I don't have the money for it. And so the court asked her for a whole list of like what her expenditures were. Well, her regular expenditures were well in reason and fine. I mean, $500 a month she's doing for food and she's got rent, she's got this, all that. Well, then they investigated a little further. Well, she spent several $1,000s on studio time for her baby daddy to record a rap album.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sure.
Well,
Like you do.
Well, sure. I mean, that's
I saw nothing wrong because he's investing in the future.
yeah. I mean, I'm doing
It
an
seems
album
legit.
of folk songs done by
Too legit.
by Slim.
To quit.
I'm redoing a lot of Slim Whitman songs
That
from.
seems
Are
fair.
you?
That seems
yeah,
like
it'd be a lovely
Sounds
album.
very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it's called White Boy on the Range.
What was it?
Yeah.
So
White boy.
that's my album.
Was it too legit?
To quit.
Too
To
legit.
quit.
What was it like? Quit?
I don't know.
No. That's that asshole from Full House.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Wait a minute.
Cut
it out or
Cut-
something.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Oh.
he's awful.
Blissfully, I do not understand either reference.
Dave Coulier.
Yeah. Oh, he
Dave
was
Coulier.
awful.
Cut
We saw
it
him.
out. Yeah.
We saw him doing stand up. He was
Now,
awful.
isn't it funny that we're talking about television finally that Al doesn't have any idea what the fuck we're talking about?
Right. Well.
Because he was blissfully
was terrible
drunk
then.
or buried in a bar
Exactly.
for the
Full
entire
House,
time.
I tuned in for like 30 seconds of Full House, and the vomiting really never stopped.
I loved it because I was 8 at the time.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
And it was, hey, you were the target audience.
You were, you kind of were the target.
I know.
I mean, and John Stamos was cute.
Oh, he was
I
adorable.
was on board for that. Yeah.
But that Bob Saget, God, he annoys the shit out of me still.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he is a great stand-up now.
I tried to watch him on HBO. I saw something a while back, one of his stand-up, and it was really good. He did this last one about a year ago. I saw it.
No, I haven't
and
seen him that
oh
recently.
my God. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
There's a
I was
really,
angry.
really funny movie out of quite a few years ago now. It's a documentary, using the term lightly, with comedians, and it's called The Aristocrats.
Okay.
I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and The Aristocrats is a joke that comedians tell each other backstage, and you take the whole time to describe this act, and they make it as filthy and dirty, as offensive as possible. And at the end, you're like, "Oh my God, what is that act called?" And you're like, The Aristocrats, and
And he's probably the dirtiest of all
the
of them.
dirtiest. I mean, Sarah Silverman
Yeah.
does one that's kind of like a little like mini movie that's so disturbing and so fucking wrong. And it's a 90-minute movie of the same joke, but it's not the same joke because all that remains the same is I have an act. What's the act called? The Aristocrats. But in between, they all get to make what the act does on stage
Oh my God.
as absolutely revolting as possible.
And he
And they-
really is.
And they had a contest to have people like go to their website and do their own version of it. 'Cause all you have to do is just be as gross and
Sure.
And so they all said that Bob Saget was always the best at it backstage. Like and they would all go on stage like still like weeping from terror and when they get described.
Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Molly in the chat room said that all of the Alanis Morissette songs from the Jagged Little Pill album were about Dave Coulier. I
right.
didn't
They're all
realize
kind
that.
of,
yeah.
they're backing away from
Yeah.
that now. They've been
Oh.
kind of like saying, "Oh no, it's not true," but it is.
That was my understanding.
I had
there's
never
been-
heard that.
Yeah, that she got real mad.
Yeah, because I was like, really? This person that I thought was so interesting and exciting is the fucker from Full House, Uncle Eddie or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah. Well, he was. Who's
The suspicious-
Uncle Jesse was Stamos,
Right.
and then the father was
Danny.
Molly.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
He was just the creepy best friend that just hung around the two guys and their little
Joey.
kids.
I think it was Joey.
If there was only a way to
Uncle
look it
Joey?
up, Google that,
Oh.
cat. Google it.
It's not
God
worth that.
damn it! Oh, you threw that good pin away.
I'll get it.
There won't be more.
Yeah, you could be right on that.
Who?
Doesn't matter.
I'm going with Uncle Joey.
Douche nozzle is a good name.
And no one
I
else
think.
noticed the creepy, like, sexual predator undertones of all these uncles that hung around the house?
Okay, of Bob Saget, who was dad. I noticed that because he is just.
I never.
Get in Uncle
got it.
Joey's van. Go ahead. Why not?
Want some candy, little
Hey,
yeah.
girl?
Uncle Joey's going away now because Mommy and Uncle Joey don't like each other anymore.
I almost made it home, Mrs. Garrett.
Yeah,
I almost made it home.
I was almost home.
Thank you, Tootie, for the rape episode.
Joey
Joey.
Gladstone.
Molly's,
Nice.
Molly's trying.
Fadley was the almost raped one, not Tootie.
Oh, you are right. Fadley was because she couldn't run as fast.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Mindy Cohn.
I just don't think that's why.
Really?
No, it's because she was almost
You
home.
watch this
She was-
bitch run. I'll tell you.
She was,
Remember-
she was an easy target.
You don't have to be the fastest runner in the zombie apocalypse. You just can't be the
And
slowest.
the undertone, the undertone
okay.
message of that episode of Facts of Life was don't dress suggestively. Because Mindy Cohn always was the hooch. She really was.
She had her tits hanging out.
Natalie, she was always the heartlet.
And the long skirt and tights.
Yeah, she really was.
She was dressed like a bound-up nun. And I don't mean bound up in that way.
Well,
Not in the fun way.
The knit sweaters with the hearts going across them. Yeah. Like when I thought it was really startling when all of a sudden Tootie showed up and I was like, Jesus.
What, a black girl?
Hearts.
Oh, I mean, we were surprised it was a black girl on Facts of Life.
All of a
She
sudden,
just wandered in.
Wait.
all of a sudden, they all found the catering truck on that show. Like one season, they all just.
No, I don't mean
Craft
just getting
Services
fat,
was
but I mean,
really
like,
serving.
her boobs like out of nowhere. It was stupid.
like
Molly,
no-
I'm on.
Like the Modern Family, the nerdy, more nerdy girl
Modern-
on
yeah.
Modern Family.
Oh, but he's told stories about her before that she's like fully developed and everything, and they're hiding her in Modern Family
They're
because
trying to slowly let it out because
The
she
oldest or the youngest?
Oh, the middle daughter.
because she developed so fast. And they're like, no, we don't have a storyline for her to be a knockout yet.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Because she's gonna be like, take off the glasses and undo your boobs.
Mm-hmm.
and boom, she's ready to serve.
She
Right.
was on last week. She was one of the guest judges on Project Runway All Stars, and she's a fucking knockout.
She's pretty. I think she's a pretty girl.
And the no glasses, her
But
hair.
I've
her
never
hair was
seen her
done in
otherwise.
like a Rita Hayworth like little pin. What do they call it? The finger curls.
Okay.
Little wave on and long red hair, tits out to there, like talking about fashion, and you're like, okay, this is no longer a 15-year-old girl studying
Sure.
for college finals. Like,
Stressed out because
yeah,
she's not getting
This is
it.
a
Nerdy-
grown- this is
nerdy
a grown-ass
girl, that's
woman.
right.
Yeah.
Wow, I
So-
didn't realize that. I just knew that.
So it'll be funny to see how they flip that over, or if they keep her in that mold. You know.
I'm curious to see the episode tomorrow night, which obviously I'm DVRing, and then by the time you hear this on repeat, it will have been done. But I saw a preview for the Thanksgiving episode of Modern Family, where everybody has backup turkeys. I'm very curious to see how this all works out.
That's great.
Because apparently Phil Dunphy is the one who's putting it all together, but everybody realizes this is not going to work.
Probably
so they're
not gonna be
all
good.
staging backups.
Sure.
I love all the control freaks on that show.
Yes,
That's
that's
very
very,
funny.
very funny, very
Is
cute.
anybody else having issues with watching, not being able to watch, but listen and chat? Aaron says that, and the listening isn't really working either, but I don't know.
Well, Molly's listening because Molly
Right.
can't
Molly's-
watch. We know where Molly's trapped.
Yeah.
We've seen her prison.
I see nothing that shows that we
Okay.
are disconnected. Everything's good. Reboot your systems. Figure it out. Everything.
A bunch of people did just get booted off the chat room, though.
Everything just seems.
The number plummeted.
I
no.
show 5 users.
Yeah, but we there was quite a few more. A little couple
Don't
times
know.
ago.
Anyway, but yeah, according from what I see on this end, we're all
Okay.
live and going.
Okay. Thank you.
7:22 on the old atomic clock. Let's go around the table. Kat Carlson is on her star bartender tour.
Celebrity bartending
Bum,
tour.
bum, bum.
Celebrity star tender.
Yes.
Meeting new assholes everywhere.
New
Everywhere.
assholes all over the place.
Customer
It's true.
service like no other.
I've had the most fun weekend working that I've had in quite some time. I've gotten to work
Good.
with such fun people and such good friends all weekend. I worked Friday's happy hour at Cobalt,
Okay.
which is famously wonderful and fun. I got to work with Gina Florio and Brock and Kyle Ward.
Brock. Why am I spacing on that? Brock.
TC Taylor's husband-ish.
I surprised.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
got it. All
I'd
right.
have to say a face. Half
Yeah.
the time I have to say
Right.
a face.
Yeah, boyfriend, husband, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
However you self-identify.
however you self-identify. An avid listener, clearly.
Oh yeah.
And then I got to work Saturday and Sunday at Stacy's, and I got to work with,
Oh, it's a good place.
oh yeah, so much fun. Trish the Dish and Foster and Anthony, and just so much fun
Good.
doing what I do and working and having a wonderful time. So then this week, I'm taking over permanently Thursdays at Cobalt,
Yay.
Oh, good.
taking over the trivia night there.
And what time does that start?
Trivia starts at 9.
Okay. And it's a progressive. I've only done it once, and I've kind of forgotten it. Isn't it like a progressive through the night?
You know, I went last week, and it was kind of a light night, and so it was just kind of, it was going. So I'm sitting down, and I'm revamping it a little bit, and I'm gonna make it
so
my own.
it literally is
it's
yours.
going to be mine.
Oh,
yes.
very Paula Abdul. You are making it your
I'm
own.
I know.
I like that.
I'm just gonna walk in 2 days from now and be like, okay, listen, here's what we're
Here's what we're doing.
Listen, bitch.
gonna do. You know, and I think that was kind of the idea.
Okay. They
behind bringing me on with
wanted to
that.
revamp. Cool.
Yes, and then I will be.
Because I'm excited to come to that. Because I actually thought last Thursday was your first night,
Oh, fun.
and that's when I stumbled in and found you sitting at the bar. So Since you were there, we
worked
just
out
drank
well.
for a
Might
few
as well
minutes.
just have a drink. I know it. I was so tired. I was
we
like,
did.
I have one eye open. I'm like, I'm not drunk. I've had like a drink, but I'm tired.
We did good. We did good. Yeah.
Very
nice.
Here's the storm clouds marching
Very
north
Oh,
up
jeez.
the Niagara.
I saw that
That
on
looks
the news.
fantastic. I want to be there.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
I'm good. I'm okay here.
I
Me
love
Yeah, me
storms.
too.
too.
Shovel sunshine all day
Yeah.
long. We're good. at that.
Over and over
But
and
then
over.
a little bit more self promotion, and then we'll move on. I'm going to be this Saturday at two wonderful events. I'm going to be at Cook Phoenix
Okay.
during the day, helping out and opening craft beers. Apparently, I don't
And
know.
if just update people, what is Cook Phoenix?
Cook
for
Phoenix
those
is
of
an
us in-
HRC fundraiser, and it's also a local restaurant expo. So local restaurants and breweries are going to be showing off their wares. It's $25 to get in, and then I've actually never been, and I know like this much about it. Somebody sent me a Facebook message and said, "Hey, you want to do it?" And I said, "Yeah,
Sure.
done."
Got it.
Very
Right.
good.
And so
Good.
that'll be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot, if you're local, to taste and see and find out about some local places.
Where is it held?
That's at Margaret T. Hansen Park.
Okay, cool.
This Saturday in the afternoon. I don't have the exact hours, but you can find information on Facebook or on the local HRC or
Right.
perhaps a Google search or
And but it is called Cook Phoenix, right?
yes.
So I'm sure you could just Google Cook Phoenix and you'll find all the information you need to know.
Yes. And then in the evening after Cook Phoenix, I'm going to go on over to the Sway Swagger Awards
Okay.
and get some more
somebody
people
w-
drunk.
And somebody was
Yeah.
trying to explain to me where that is this year, and I couldn't for the life of me understand what the hell they were saying.
Sure don't know.
Something about
I sure don't know.
something about 32nd Street or something in an office building that was leveled and redone. I got
That
nothing.
sounds like a lot of fun.
I got nothing.
I got nothing either. Again, I just answer my messages and people are like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I say, "Yeah,
Okay.
okay." And then
yeah.
this one put on by Sway Events, so Gary Guerin contacted me, and so Gary, I'm waiting for my instructions.
How the hell?
Make the checkout too.
looks like it's like 36th Street in Indian School.
Oh.
Yeah, 4445 North 36th Street. So something's
Yeah, that's around. Yeah,
36th
Nice.
Street in Indian School.
good guessing.
Okay.
So we'll find out for
I just
that.
have to look. I don't remember what building that is. Doesn't matter.
But I'll make sure there are links on my Facebook and I'll tag the show and everything in
Yeah, 'cause
case
depending on-
in case local
Nice.
listeners are looking for some things to do this weekend
Absolutely.
to see my pretty face.
Oh,
Nice.
yes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Moving on, Mark.
Marn, besides buying camouflage socks for us and just those what do you call those
Yeah,
shoes?
that's awesome.
Chucks. Are those Chucks?
Pumas.
Pumas.
These are Pumas. These are back in the. Oh yeah. These are back in the day Pumas. Those are old school.
Back in the day.
Now, where did you find them?
Oh, Amazon.
No shit.
I'm finding like a K-Swiss. I got some new K-Swiss tennies. These. Love it. Amazon.
Oh, if you can find some.
I got these for like 24. I got other ones for 19.
I used to wear a high top solid black Reebok. If you
Yep.
could find that, because
Now, do they have Velcro?
they did. They had two Velcro straps at the top.
That's
but the rest,
exactly what I was
but
picturing.
the rest were tie up.
Yep.
I love those shoes, but I don't.
You're being sincere that you would wear those again.
No.
Thank you very
No,
much.
no,
'cause
no.
I
mean, unless we
I
do
was
a
like,
flashback
God.
show.
Right, absolutely.
We
That
do
would
a
be
flashback
fun.
show.
We appreciate your optimism.
Yes. Because I don't mind looking. I don't
And
know
you could
that I could be
probably
a part
find
of
it. You could probably find it. Just
I
a
probably
guess.
could.
Because
I
oddly,
probably could.
contrary to what a lot of people think, I cannot go dig to my closets and pull all this stuff out from 25 years ago.
Right.
Because none of that is in this house anymore.
Very
Well,
good.
From years ago. I don't
Yeah.
have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
None of those.
I still have like I don't know if you remember with when I went back for the 80s bachelorette party.
Yes,
and
I
got
do
the
recall.
members only
Yes,
jacket.
I do recall that.
Hi, Don. That was my favorite buy that I found at Buffalo Exchange. I was like, oh my God, there's the total members only. Fit my fat ass. Made me so happy.
There were members only jackets remind me of Rosario from Will and Grace.
Totally.
I know they did take a turn.
Yes.
A happier time in the '80s to being Karen Walker's
Totally.
maid.
Yeah, absolutely. But so that was exciting getting my little Pumas. Otherwise, just working on the house and kind of.
What was the picture? You posted a couple pictures I saw today on
Yeah.
the Facebook. Something about everything will be all right and all that. Where are
so
those?
Bob Marley,
Yeah.
that's out my bedroom window. When I'm laying in my bed, I can look out and there's the pool and the palm tree
Right.
and whatever. And we've been in that house 21 years. And that was one of the first things that I fell in love with at that house because I thought, I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah, looking out the window like that.
You get to look out the window
And an open window.
sunshine and open
Yeah.
in mid-November and be able to look out and it's sunny and it's beautiful and there's a palm tree. You're always on vacation and you see the pool And I looked
When I think of your house, I don't think of always on vacation. Not with the
not with the house. I'm saying out that window.
Oh, okay.
Just that palm tree, maybe.
You got like 17 dogs and
oh, that is a vacation.
you're always busy.
No, I'm
All right.
always like, you just shut up. Lay there.
Yeah. Swiffer.
Wow. Sorry, Ernie.
No, not Ernie. Sorry, babe.
However, that's a different show. Shut up and lay there.
There you
That is a different fact.
That's on Friday nights.
Fact,
Sign me
I think
up.
we're gonna have a show later on in the year, or maybe in the early 15, called "Shut Up and Lay There," and we'll just bring in special guests.
Yeah, just go ahead and put me on the death den if you would like. We can fill in my name.
Lesbian
Number
bed.
one.
We'll have a lesbian bed death segment.
Nope, I'm saying because she'll kill me for doing
Lord.
that.
No, you're the more quiet one than she is.
that's really
She'll,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's real true. A friend of mine 3 years ago, in January, had been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
Dana, and she just sent a thing last week that she has a recurrence, and so she had, fought that round 1 kind of thing, and now we have round 2, and it's moved and it's done some interesting things. And so she had been at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester yesterday, just reams of tests with biopsies and MRIs and all this stuff. So we have the Fun Sisters, we call us. There are 7 of us from growing up, and the Fun Sisters, we all have our boxing gloves and fight like a girl. Have you ever seen that with fighting cancer, but breast cancer is like this fight like a girl. So we all have our boxing gloves and we're ready to fight with her while she's going through it. And it just was so cool to look out, because I was just thinking about her and saying the prayers, the good thoughts, sending the good juju out there, and I look up and there are 3 little birds up on the line, and all I could hear was Bob Marley. Every little thing's gonna be all right. And I went, good, done.
Yep.
And I was able to take a picture of it. And
Now, were the birds singing to you?
they did, yeah. And that's when I knew that
The
there
crazy
was a
was back.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took some medicine.
Were you on the phone with Laura at the time?
I was not. No, I didn't have any brownies. No, but I was able to. I just took
Fair
the picture.
question.
It is.
Yes.
So I was able to take the picture, and it just was nice, and it was just that nice thing you look up. And then, truthfully, right after that, about a half an hour later, I got there were 2 text messages that came in. One that she got the results of one of the biopsies, and it was benign.
Cool.
Very good.
And then the second one was maybe 20 minutes later, and the next test that she had, there were 5 total, and so she had 2 and 3 had come back benign, and that things were okay. So there are still 2 outstanding tests, obviously, for bone and some other stuff, but it was, I like those odds better. I like those odds a whole lot better. Fair.
Fair. Thank you, Laura.
But
In the
I
chat
do.
room.
I love those
Fair.
odds a whole lot better.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
So, so it was just kind of cool that after seeing that. But that was my little wispy moment this morning. It was
Gotcha.
nice.
I didn't understand that because I thought, like, is she even in town? Where in the hell
Right.
is
When I
she?
saw the sign, I thought maybe you got the sign for your birthday.
No,
and then,
that was at Dancing with the Bars.
Oh.
That was in the basement. That was something completely separate. Here I saw the birds this morning and had that picture, and then I heard that kind of in my head, and put that on Facebook, and then I'm like,
Wait, was that from when I took
have
you?
that.
Wait, was that from when I took you downstairs to Dancing with this past one?
No, not when you took me down there. I went down there initially when I
Oh.
first got there, and Ron Rogers took that picture for me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
it just I went, I'm going to put that here, and it seems to kind of go together. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Didn't realize.
Yeah,
sweet.
it's down the stairs, right when you go down the stairs to.
I honestly, I was in such a rush that day. I didn't pay attention to what was on the walls.
So it was very.
Where's
cool.
my dressing room?
There you
What's
go,
my
right,
cue?
right.
When do I go on stage? That's all I worried about.
So, but yeah,
And do
it's-
they have crown?
Right. Right. So
that's
I
been
wish
there.
I would have thought of that, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I don't even know if I had a drink
Yeah,
that day.
you had one.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Well, because I got you a double one.
Oh no, that's right. You did.
And I went,
Yes.
sweet Jesus, why didn't I just wait and get him a bottle?
Yeah. Why didn't I
Later.
just? I need to remember when I do events, just take it
Bring
with
it,
me.
yeah.
God damn,
Yeah.
it's more economical.
Well, I mean, like,
Flasks are for-
ridiculous. It was like 30.
Perhaps we could get you a camouflage canteen.
There you go. No one
but
would
if
say it.
but what if I lose it?
Well, you won't.
I'll
You
never
can see
see it again.
We'll put a little orange strap
I like
on
the
it.
idea that you're going to set it down. Oh, the optimism we work at. Yeah.
Well played.
I mean, unless I get distracted by something that's 27, 28 years old and may or may not be illegally in the country. Would you like Canadian whiskey? Oh, you ready to go home? Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
fabulous.
Works out well. Mr. Perkins, you just got back from a whirlwind tour of the Big Apple.
I did.
Welcome home.
Fast, fun, and furious. I mean, it was just, we were lightning quick into that town.
You had to be. You had to be.
Yeah, I got there Friday morning, butt crack dawn.
Had you gotten any sleep?
Yes and then no. Yes, the day before because I hadn't been feeling well, and then no because I was just wide awake on that flight, and then it was
being
fun.
excited.
So lots of
Sure.
fun. Saw the newlyweds, Chad and David. Got to have a fun lunch with them, and then dinner with another couple who had just gotten their not engaged, but had gotten their domestic partnership. They got their license to get married at some point. Paul and
Somebody else.
his
His
betrothed.
partner.
His betrothed.
And Mr. Paul.
And my friend Gina was there all weekend. It was fun to see her. She had lunch. She was at lunch and dinner, so she made 4 new best friends.
I love it.
She has oh Jesus, what the fuck is his name?
Wow.
Dean, Paul and Dean.
Paul and Dean!
It's so
Paul
easy
and
to
Dean!
remember. And you have to say it like that. You have to say it all as one. That is terrible. And the funny thing was, the dinner from Friday night was because Dean saw my friend Gina walking her dog in Chelsea and stopped to take a picture because he thought it was Sandra Bullock. And then realized, he's like, oh no, it's not Sandra Bullock, but I do know her, and kept walking closer and closer, and finally he was like, wait, don't I know you? And she was like, L.T. Perkins? And it was just so funny. They'd been reading each other's stuff on my Facebook
That's
page
funny.
for so long and like looking at each other's pictures.
Sure.
And they met on the street. So then
In Chelsea.
they organized a dinner on Friday night in New York with me, which made it even funnier. Because I'm like, Dean knows Gina? I'm like,
How are they connected?
How the fuck did that happen? So it was a funny story, and it was a charming dinner. Some fun restaurants and good
And didn't you
times
say
and-
that you were there for like it was a very long dinner and you still had time?
No, that was the next night.
Next
in
night,
between
okay.
shows, we didn't want to leave Midtown.
Okay.
So we just went for a long dinner. I mean, we were at dinner at a French restaurant for like a day and a half. And we get done and we still had an hour left. Like, they weren't bringing us the check. They were taking their time between courses. We were chit-chatting, drinking wine.
That's nice.
And I'm like, oh my God, we still have another hour. And it was freezing outside. Like, the sun went down at 2 p.m. Because, daylight savings time
All right. Fucks you up with that.
is in the summer. They
Right.
don't save you daytime in the winter.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, that's miserable.
Dark.
And
Which
it's
oddly
dark.
is French.
Uh-huh.
Miserable.
It is.
So that was fun, and then a really long brunch on Sunday. It was brunch and 2 drinks at the world's oldest gay bar, the nation's oldest gay bar, and just it was a fun couple days. And then back on the plane, and I got home at 3. I went to work at 7, and I worked all night.
Oh, jeez.
And I got the pleasure of bookending both of his entire trip because I literally dropped him off at the airport on Thursday night. And because of my fucked up day on Monday, I actually picked him up at the airport as I drove into town.
Yeah.
Picked him up, dropped him off.
You were down in Tucson.
I was literally
Right.
on the way because he got caught in that bad accident. So
Yeah.
as he zipped around the back way, he was all of a sudden like, "Oh, I'm outside the airport. I might as well." I'm
Yeah,
on the 143.
literally. Because I text him and like a couple hours passed. He's like, "Well, I just landed." I'm like, "Well, shit. I am just coming around the back side of the big mountain on the south side of town. I can be there." Yeah, it was kind of a fucked up thing.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I went to Tucson to DJ a pageant on Sunday, and it takes an hour and a half to get from here to Tucson. I mean, wherever you're going, it's a straight shot. It's usually a quick boom, 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 easy drive.
Sure.
Well, on the way back so we did the pageant. Everything went well. I got up the next morning, did a couple things for a client who is a bar there in Tucson called IBT's. Jumped in the car. I was on the road by 11:45, and typically, again, it's a 90-minute drive, door to door, in horrible traffic. Well, in the most horrific, horrible traffic you could possibly imagine, where unfortunately somebody was killed in a car wreck and they closed the highway down. You're in a 16-mile backup on I-10 West.
Because there's nowhere to go.
It was
Right outside of Casa Grande.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
That's
one I
where
was in.
everybody dies.
That's
Yeah.
what I was in. So I actually bailed after being probably set for 30 minutes in traffic, and then we were like, well, we're not far from the exit. to go to Florence, Arizona. And again, interesting radio for those of you not local.
Fascinating.
But it was just a way to get around and to start moving on some highway somewhere.
Yep.
Well, a billion other people had decided to do the same thing. So we're like, can't go that way because it was a 5-mile backup. So I flipped around thinking, well, I'm going to jump back on the freeway because I saw traffic moving, and the DPS officer stops me and he comes to the car and he goes, let me tell you something. I can let you go on this. He goes, but there's another 12 miles ahead of you of this. He goes, so if you want to, you're welcome to. He goes, but I'll tell you what, we've not diverted traffic this way. He goes, if you go this to the end and you turn here and you turn here, you're going to go through Maricopa and it's going to be a long way, but you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, so go this way. So what wound up it took me 3 hours to get from Tucson, but I wound up moving majority of the time.
Sure.
I actually saw parts of Arizona I'd never seen before.
Specifically, Maricopa.
And I had not realized how much Maricopa had grown. The last time
it's crazy.
The last time I was in Maricopa, and this will be a stretch for you guys, they did a mobile Graceland tour back 10 years ago.
Of course they did.
No, they did. Harrah's Casinos, when they first started doing there was an Elvis concert where what they would do is they would show Elvis. They would take the video footage from concerts, and I went to Harrah's in Vegas and saw it. They would take video footage of him in concert, and they would strip away all of the music and just leave his lead vocal. So they would project him on a screen above and had an entire live orchestra and band play. Oh. So I saw that. Well, it was in cahoots with
Tupac before Tupac.
Right.
That was cool.
And now they have Elvis in a hologram when they're doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Tim Raznick.
Yeah.
Tim Raznick and I drove down to the Harrah's Casino, the Ak-Chin. I think, is that right? Harrah's Ak-Chin.
God bless you.
We drove down there because the mobile Graceland tour had come through. Okay. That was the last time I was there, and that's got to be 10, 12 years ago. Sure. Long time. Doesn't matter.
It's really bad.
Everybody moved there. The economy died. Everybody left.
But a lot of people have gone back.
There are a billion houses out there.
People went back to Love Canal, too. Doesn't make it right.
I'm not saying it's right.
So anyway, delayed in that horrible traffic jam, got back to town, and immediately, literally, got to town, went back to work. It just, that's the way it works for me.
Sure.
So I made an executive decision, and I believe I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
Because my Saturday night show that I do every Saturday at the Charlie's, because we're going on winter hiatus because it's too goddamn cold to be outside here, and even in Arizona when it gets below 55 degrees,
sure.
We're like, brr.
We're in a valley.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the first weekend of December, I'm going to take and I'm going to go to San Diego for 3 days.
Very nice.
Which I never ever do, but I think I'll just roll over there and hang out. I have an open bar tab at a local bar because they're a client. So yay me.
Well, I never think someone should drive alone.
Yeah.
I care about you.
Oh, go.
I drive a van. Can I come?
Oh. There is strength in numbers.
Yeah.
I want to come play. I don't want to come work.
Yeah.
Asshole.
No, but
$49.95.
You work on the way,
Feeds
and you play, and then you work on the way back.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
But that's a very fair point. You have a minivan, and I wouldn't have to drive at all.
Carry some.
And
it's comfortable. Captain's chairs.
Oh,
shotgun
chairs.
But that would mean we have to go to the Flame. That's the lesbian bar.
Yeah.
Or do you want to go to the boy bar?
The Flame is fun.
I would.
Numbers is fun.
I have. I've been to the Flame there. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely fun, but I'd rather go to a.
And I really haven't been. I haven't been to a gay bar in San Diego in so
long. Boys
long.
are so much nicer.
No offense. I think Bourbon Street is the one that I like.
That's one of the ones I'd be right next to because that's where Matt lives, right in University Heights, like a block from Bourbon Street.
At least I know if they're going to drink Coors Light, they're not going to like bite off the cap or something.
And I'm assuming, you obviously know Flex because Flex is the entire reason that we as Edge are there because Darren was friends with the original owner or the owners of Flex.
We borrowed a lot of ideas from each other.
Oh, okay.
And that one was honestly probably like 60-40 them stealing from us more than we were stealing from them. But yeah.
Oh, gotcha. There's that.
So
I'm not sure why outside the studio I'm hearing sirens, so I'm hoping that's nothing bad for us.
Okay, I drove a little fast.
What?
They didn't catch up with me.
I forgot to tell you, I'm not here.
Yeah.
No.
You don't know me.
If somebody looks for Kat Carlson,
Hey,
she's
can I have
not
your
here.
socks?
Where's Marnie?
I don't know.
Gently used.
We don't see Marnie.
$2.95.
Sleeps one.
Sleeps one, but serves four.
Yeah.
Oh, how's that about? What is that? What does that
Laura,
even mean?
Laura mentioned an Olive Garden.
Slightly
Hello,
offended.
Buddy Early reference.
Did what happened?
Buddy Early reference.
Which one?
The Olive Garden.
Where the lesbians all want to go.
Remember the Olive Garden and
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Lesbians
Oh
eat
my
at
God.
Chain restaurants. I do remember that.
Fucking Buddy Early. He's so funny with that.
May he rest in peace.
Well, something. Oh, take him off the death den then.
No. Buddy Early's still with
I
us.
ain't dead. That's how rumors
Oh,
start.
I know,
Still with
right?
us. Oh, I have an A and Dead story on headlines. And speaking of which, I think it's time to get to headlines.
Holy cow.
So let's do it. Martin, you think you can pull it together?
Well, maybe.
Well, let's hope so. Here we go.
Go for it.
Headlines on a Tuesday night here at Studio C. It's exciting, it's fun, and we hope that you enjoy it. If you don't, you didn't pay to get in. Oh, change your names or lose your driving privileges.
Mockery of marriage or traditional marriage?
Sorry, ma'am, no hats on driver's license photos.
Welcome to Bra Man.
Possible drunk guy drives bulldozer home.
A letter about homophobia.
I'm not dead yet.
Is that a maggot in your ear? You're just happy to see me.
And a porta potty to be launched into orbit. These and more stories coming up right now in headlines. Oh my God! Well, we are going to start in the penis of America, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. Yeah.
The Florida Department of Motor Vehicles has warned a married gay couple to change their names or risk losing their driver's licenses. Daniel and Scott Wall de Sousa, that's a hyphenated name, received the warning in the mail this week after they discussed with local media how that they legally changed their last names using their New York State marriage license. Quote, it informs me and notifies me that my driving privileges will be canceled indefinitely as of November 22nd, Daniel told WFTV TV. The men also changed their last names on critical documents such as their social security cards, voter ID cards. And he says, everything has been changed to my benefits to my Florida pension. Daniel says, how does one undo all that? The couple plans to file a lawsuit against the state. Florida's ban on gay marriage has been ruled unconstitutional by numerous state judges and a federal judge. Yet the state still is trying to bunk them with regards to their name change.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you can change your name to whatever you wanted to.
Absolutely.
No, but what doesn't matter if you're gay.
Ask Harrison.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
Sure.
do you want to enlighten more on that story or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's not her name. But
Okay.
she changed it to it. Cher's not... Cher is Cher.
Right.
Right.
Harrison is Harrison due to the legal precedent sent by Cher.
Good for you, Harrison.
Yeah, I mean,
love
but
it.
because Cher is legally only Cher. Like, she doesn't have...
Like Madonna.
Right.
No, no, Madonna is Chacon.
Right.
Yeah.
Madonna Louise Chacon. But Cher is legally just Cher. She had it changed.
No.
So that is the precedent. Because Harrison is just Harrison. She doesn't have a last name.
We just call her darling because she is.
No, because...
Honestly, I didn't know that.
Because so many forms require
Yes.
a
A
last
first and
name,
last.
and she was having to put like X for a first name, or because of computer systems, the computer requires a name, so she's had to add something to it. And now as a professional, now she's a doctor,
So she Dr. Darling?
yeah. So she
Oh.
on that thing it says Harrison Darling, but her name is legally just Harrison.
Oh. I did not realize that
That's
about
why
it.
when we travel anywhere, I don't get behind her.
Oh.
Because that's a 2-hour fucking story.
You can be at the bar or having coffee.
I'm gonna be on the other line. Good luck, lady. Can't wait to hear that story again.
What's your name to put it on the coffee cup? Well, it's a long story.
Yeah, it's a long, drawn-out story.
Oh,
So I mean, that's bullshit that they're calling
I
that.
agree. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. Now
It
we'll
doesn't
see.
matter where they got the name from. You can change your name to whatever you want to.
I'm curious to know if there's a follow-up in regards to that story. I would actually make a note to look that up, but the state can't impose that. I'm just curious to know how this shakes out. Is there somebody in the DMV who's just a cunt who've decided that, oh, fuck them? My religious
Well, they
says,
probably went on TV and did an interview or something.
no, they did, and they said that. But still, regardless of if you go on and do an interview and say that we changed all of our names, the state still can't come in and do that.
Yeah, because you change it for another state.
Well, I mean, as a judge can tell you, you can't change your name to that. Like
yeah, you say
that's
you
how
do
the
have to
name
go to a
change
hearing.
starts. You have to go to the judge and say, hey, I want to change my name to this because I hate my mother or whatever.
Now I
it
guess
is.
what I didn't realize is now if they just went in and willy nilly changed their name and said my name is
Right.
now X, and they didn't legally go through it, I guess that is a
that would be an
valid.
issue.
Yeah,
No.
that would be it. But
No.
it's legal in New. That's part of the marriage thing, and that's one of the questions that I have. There's all these questions about gay marriage now. Like, does anybody change their name? And is it easy to change your name if you're of the same sex? Because, women, the women that I work with, they get married. They have to get their nursing licenses changed. Like, you have to change.
Oh, I would think that
so many different
but I
things.
would think it's just marriage.
But now, a question.
I mean, that it wouldn't
Right,
be...
but that's still a lot of hoops. It
is a lot of hoops, but, that whomever is getting married would have to
You
go
would
through
probably
it.
know this better
Or
than anybody
whoever,
in the
excuse
room.
me.
If and because my ignorance in regards to marriage is vast, but when you
Mine's
get
not far behind.
in the heterosexual world, the normal world, when you would get married, I didn't know how that all worked. So let's say
you have to apply everywhere for a new
John Smith,
You have to start at Social
and Mary
Security.
Jones get married.
Yeah.
Is there something that automatically just happens because of a marriage, or do you have to go through?
You have to go through it, and then if you get divorced, you have to go back and change everything.
Now that I knew, but I didn't know in regards
No,
to.
you have to go down to Social Security and
Show your marriage
Aaron was
license.
Aaron Henderson became Aaron Kirchhoff,
Okay.
then got divorced and is now Aaron
You realize
Henderson
how much
again.
she's angry you just mentioned that name again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to a degree.
We're
She
using
can't hear
it-
us though, so it's okay.
Oh.
But I know. So let's talk, kids.
Oh.
But needless to say that it had on her Social Security card it was Kirchhoff for a while,
All right.
and now it's back.
And that's
but
what I
you
say,
have
just
to go through all. And
keep
you're right
your name.
for her teaching certification for all of it. And
Yeah, wouldn't it really be easier just to keep your name? I mean, you've been
I
out
think it
forever,
would.
so if you
I've
get
been saying
married,
that for years. Just to women, especially, keep your name. Like,
it's gonna confuse somebody when you're Al Sanchez.
absolutely,
right. It won't confuse me.
he won't be confused in the least.
I'll be excited for you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I will too, because I'm gonna go to the wedding.
Senor Sanchez.
You have a brother, you have a
friend-
cousin, you have a relative, you know, dude.
His last name is
Rita.
Sanchez. What do you think?
Senor Sanchez.
My friend Sarah opened
Jessica Parker.
nope.
Okay.
Maslow opened Camp Odeon, which is a heart camp for kids. And so here's this nonprofit, and she had it going on for years before she had gotten married. And she still goes by Sarah Maslow. She's always kept it that way because what a nightmare to
sure.
go through every single thing like you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And
Just
for different
a lot.
professional reasons, some women do keep their maiden name. I have an aunt who's a veterinarian and just stayed Dr. Carlson even after she got married.
Sure.
And I always say to do it because then, like, people can't find you. Like, there's people that you haven't seen for a
Yours
few
is
years
way
and maybe
cooler,
never met your husband. So they're like, well, I think that's the person I know,
Sure.
but I don't know that last name.
Sure.
My nieces went to school and their teacher was a Mrs. Stromberg, and they're all like, you know her, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck. I don't know any Stromberg. It's not a name I know. Because they don't know her first name and I don't know her last name. So towards the end of the year, my sister finally was like, her name's Janelle. She's like, I think it's Janelle Panza. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, don't change your name. Like, people are coming up to me, asking me about this Mrs. Stromberg. I'm like,
Right.
I have no idea
She
who
got
that
married
is.
and you didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in
You want me to learn a second name? Are you crazy?
Trust me.
back home, my first production director at the first radio station I worked at, he was already established in radio and had his name out there in public. And his wife, she was already established as a realtor. When they got married, there was no name change because they didn't. It's like, no, we're not going to confuse this.
Right.
We're not going to use each other. So she remained Doris Carlin, and he's always been Gary Bandy. And
Oh yeah, I remember
the whole thing.
That
Yeah,
name,
you remember Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you met him.
I met him.
You met him
Yeah.
when we were back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're famous, it becomes tricky because, you have your stage name, which might not be your real name to begin with.
Right?
Miss-
And
Missy
then-
Al.
And then you get married, so now you have a hyphenate.
That even fucks it up worse.
Missy Al Perkins Sanchez.
Well, and when you look at the idea of with marriage and divorce, I mean, your mom, Clayton,
Yes.
went back to Luganville, correct?
Yes,
She
went
was
back to
McKee
her maiden name.
and
yes.
went back to her
And my
maiden name.
grandfather was so impressed and proud with that.
I can believe that.
He really was.
And my mom is still Diane Ryer. I mean, and she wasn't the.
Some people after divorce keep the name to
Right.
match the kid's name, so it doesn't get confusing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there's that. Erin, when she got married, she then got into kind of got into politics, right? And started helping. So Kirchhoff was the last name that people would know her by. And so she was really nervous about whether she wanted that name or not, getting rid of that name, because like you're talking about with Stromberg or whatever, the
Yeah.
same kind of how are people going to recognize who I am, or be able to do whatever.
Mom did that for us. When she got divorced, she kept her last name as McKee for the longest time, because so it was just easier for us and it was less confusing and blah blah blah. But then later on, when we were older, she's like, "I'm going back." I mean, I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
sure. In fact, there was a brief time I actually debated about changing my last name from McKee to my grandparents' name of Luganbill. And it was like,
I remember
I'm already
that.
established as Clayton McKee, so Clayton Luganbill would have just been different.
Yeah.
But my grandfather, again, would have been thrilled because it would have been a carrying on from his line of the family. Because he had 3 daughters. So there was no carrying on of the name really out of that. And I'm like, well, that's going nowhere with me.
Yeah. I have a friend who, she got married, she got divorced. She kept the last name for a little while and then decided to change it back to her maiden name, and then met someone and got married fairly quickly and changed her name to that. So at her office, her last name changed, and she had just gotten a new supervisor or something, and the last name on her office door changed 3 times in the course of 1 year. And he was like, are we sticking with this one? And now she's been married for over 30 years.
The plaque keeps getting longer and longer.
But it really was funny that I'm like, okay, and I was like,
it's quite the circus with marriage and divorce. There are 3 last names in my house because I have mine. And Sharon, when she got divorced, went back to her maiden name almost immediately, and then the kids have their So we're like a 3 times hyphenated. If I ever sign a Christmas card, it's like,
Your mailbox must have a line after line after line.
Our mailman hates us.
That's right. Mine is the same way. I have multiple names on mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Well, that's because of your personalities.
Immigration came by one time because we've got 12 families living in our house.
Yeah, there you go. Modern Family last week, again with Modern Family, but last week, 2 weeks ago, when Manny was taking Spanish.
Okay.
I
didn't see it.
Yeah, that was cute.
He didn't want to. He wanted to take French. He's like, Spanish doesn't really have anything to do with me. And Gloria, of course, wanted him to take Spanish. And she's like, what are you talking about? And then she starts talking to him in Spanish and calling him Manuel, blah, 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 and called him 47 different names. And he's walking and he goes, I'm pretty sure you made one up in there. Because I didn't recognize it. It was very funny.
He had 18 middle names.
Yeah, it was very funny. And
I think I heard a new one in there.
Yeah, that's not right. Well, in keeping with marriage, and I'm going to put it heavily in quotes.
All right.
Mockery of marriage. I mean, are we talking like a Britney Spears 55-minute wedding in Vegas? Or is this different somehow? Charles Manson is getting married.
Oh, not this.
Yes.
Well, it was really interesting because that idea of traditional marriage. Here you go,
sanctity.
you motherfuckers.
The sanctity of marriage.
This is what you were saving it for.
That's right. Was this what you meant? Good asshats. I mean, what?
But it's a it's at least it's a heterosexual.
It's one man,
unity.
one woman.
Well,
though they can never
call.
touch each other ever.
And thank God for that.
No,
that was the part.
Can you imagine if there was a spawn of him?
Well, there is a spawn.
There is a spawn of him.
Oh,
there are a few spawns.
Oh,
of
I
him.
should apparently listen to you people.
Yeah.
Because
there.
I should
there
watch a
are
biography somewhere.
from back in the day.
Are they crazy too?
Oh, I don't know.
No, and I read a story about one of the girls.
There's a boy also, isn't there?
There's a boy, but one of the girls that was on trial with him, one of the 3 girls,
Leslie Van Houten.
I think she's the
fact
mom.
that I know those things are.
I didn't know.
She's the one that's still in, right? Leslie Van Houten is still in, and I think she has the son that she sent the baby home to her parents almost immediately.
Okay.
Never really lived in the ranch with them.
Oh.
And there's at least
I knew
one
nothing
more,
about
and they figured it. They found each other. They found out. I want to say it's a brother and a sister, and they
Because
realized
they both had a
Yeah,
cross
exactly.
in their
they
fucking
have a
head.
swastika on their forehead. Not.
If I remember right,
Freaks me out.
It's a creepy. Well, I will be in charge of googling that.
I appreciate that because Charles Manson it fascinates me anyway.
Yeah, me too.
And it's something where I remember the most scared that I ever was watching Helter Skelter when I was.
Steve Railsback. That actor will haunt me
And
till the day
do you
I die.
remember when I found his picture at the other, our first studio? Oh my God, it seriously is freakish how much this guy looked like Charles Manson. And But needless to say, it's a lot. But here he's 77 years old.
80
years old. 80 years old.
I think it was like 82.
And he's tiny.
Yeah, and he's just disgusting.
And she's been coming to him for like 9 years?
Since she was 17 years old, she
trying
has
to
been
free
trying
him.
to exonerate him.
Jeezy Pete.
And you have to wonder, like the folks, the Leslie Van Houtens and the folks back in the day that were part of this, Tex Watson and...
Your dog.
And, leave it alone. Patty is fine, thank you. When you're in it, maybe. I always have had a real issue with the idea of the cults and we're all going to wear Nikes and hail bop. And
it's called Catholicism.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I just
saying.
You drink the Kool-Aid kind of stuff,
right.
Whatever. This is when you're 17. 9 years ago?
Why would you find this interesting, and why would you think that you need to help exonerate somebody who's never, ever going to get out of prison?
You have to be one sick motherfucker that wants a lot of attention.
And she looks like she's had a couple hits of meth. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Just today, yeah. Elaine Burton, who is apparently a figment of Tim Burton's imagination. Anyway, she just loves Charles Manson. I mean, in a traditional way, I think. She's lovely. No date's been set, but I think the two words that jumped out at me in this article were wedding coordinator.
Who is that?
Fuck yeah.
But a wedding coordinator has been assigned by the prison to handle the nuptials. And the couple has until early February to get married before they would have to reapply. I almost lost my shit. A wedding coordinator? 2 questions.
Two things.
Yes.
One,
yes,
I may have found my new career path.
Totally. Yeah. By the way, don't you think the Rev Rye wants to
prison wedding coordinator?
I love it.
Okay.
I'm totally fucking in.
Yeah.
I don't actually have a second thing, but I really like
But you don't have to worry a lot about color coordination and figuring that shit out. It's got it really pretty cut and dry.
I would, leave
second
the cutting
thing.
out of it, please. But
Are they gonna have a camouflage wedding?
Oh my God, you can't see me. Say I do. You didn't know I was there.
It's not Duck Dynasty getting married in there. But they look similar.
He does. He really does. Look a lot similar. Anyway, they would have to reapply. The Kings County marriage license that was issued. King.
Oh, King. Like Kinks County? Oh,
that's delightful.
That's fun.
It was issued November 7th.
Okay.
Excuse me. For Corcoran, California, which is the site of the prison.
Okay.
And this Burton lives in Corcoran and maintains several websites advocating his innocence. And when I go home tonight, I'm totally going to look those up. Because I thought, I want to see what kind of weird shit you have out there about Chuck Manson.
I stole the post from somebody else.
He only really killed, allegedly, the one person.
Well, that's what makes him the creepiest motherfucker ever.
Right. The one in the desert that they finally found.
Right. And now, I mean, the whole Sharon Tate and the baby and just...
So they were saying, and I stole the quote from somebody else on a Facebook post. She's the one you really have to watch because he convinced all these other women to take out what he wanted to do or whatever. So I'm like, watch her.
Yep.
So there better be a detail on this bitch for the rest of the time.
And Charles Tex Watson, is that the other one?
Tex Watson, that's right.
He was the one that was like, because Charles Manson was a short little, he's a short little freak. He's maybe 5 foot, 5'1".
Tex is
tiny.
like over 6.
Tex was the big, sexy, like manly one that was, he was pulling some sway too.
Sure.
Like it's Helter Skelter. That's one of the most terrifying reads of your entire life.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the book and some pictures when I was a little kid, but I've never seen the movie, and I didn't really need to. But I'll watch an A&E biography about it because it's not as graphic.
Helter Skelter's freaky.
I think A&E biographies are worse now, but
well, maybe they are now.
Helter Skelter's terrifying.
The question is, was it murder?
A lot of them. Not just kind of in this
mostly.
one.
Kinda.
It's the show, the end of hour 1. Hour 2's coming back. Don't go away. The drinking word comes up in just moments, and then it's more with headlines with Marnie and me. We'll be back in just seconds on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening again, everybody. Just a little bit after 8 o'clock on this Q Talk America. It's The Show on Q Talk. Again, I said Q Talk. What happened now? Did you?
I did a whole
Rim shot?
Yeah, I did.
Something about wine and.
What they call that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's The Show on Tuesday night. You're in Studio C with Kat, Marnie, Al, and me. Woo! We're in the middle of headlines. We got things going on. We're drinking. We're eating stuff.
My fancy winter wear.
You do. I'm going to go in the kitchen in a few minutes and make myself a Pop-Tart because I can.
Oh, God.
But before we do that, we have to do this. It's very important. It's something we do each week. It's where you, the home listener or viewer, figure out exactly how you're going to make it through the rest of the show by drinking along with us at every turn. We call it the drinking disclaimer, and it goes something like this.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
As we all do the same disclaimer in studio, we lip sync all of it.
I
love it.
Missy Al drag. It's kind of scary. Lip sync along.
Yes, enjoy it. Enjoy
Hey,
it.
sing along with Missy Al. Our word today is hijinks.
Oh! Now,
Fun word.
Now, do you do it with
I
an,
didn't even know she was here, but hijinks.
Hijinks.
now, do you do it with just an HI hyphen jinx, or is it HIGA? I just need to know. I want to know how you do it.
H-Y-X.
Or is it HY?
H-Y-J-I-N-X.
X. I think it's an I, though, isn't it?
Look it up. Google
H-I?
that.
Maybe you're thinking of Hydrox, a delicious cookie.
Oh, similar
No
to
longer
Oreo,
made.
but not as good.
And they stopped making
I
them
believe
because...
no X.
The Hydrox? They stopped making Hydrox?
Yeah. It turns out years ago. I found it on Jeopardy the other day.
Didn't know. What, Kat, what do you got?
I got hijinks. H-I-J-I-N-K-S.
Oh, wow.
No X.
I was spelling it completely phonetically. I was in Puerto Rico too long.
Okay, so hijinks.
Spell it like it sounds. Put it on the sign.
There it is. It's there. Look at us. Oh, what's your bottle? What's your bottle? Hijinks. There's our word.
Hijinks.
Hijinks
so
is our
wrong.
word. It does look weird.
It looks like we're in Helsinki doing a radio show.
Yeah, we might be. And if you're in Helsinki, no offense meant.
No.
Hi.
Because we don't have to
See, there are
add them to
kinds
the
of
list of
ways.
people that are not going to listen to us anymore.
I meant that in a loving and nurturing hijinksy kind
Yes,
of.
exactly. All right. So
That's
continuing on with
fantastic.
our lovely. Oh, this one has a visual thing I'm going to show you. Well, a state that I've not been to. A Utah woman says that she encountered only brief resistance when she recently had her driver's license photo taken while wearing a colander on her head as a religious statement. Asia Lemon, whose legal name whose legal name appears on her driver's license as Jessica Steinhauser, said the
course.
pasta strainer represents her belief in the satirical church of the flying spaghetti monster. Lemon. Now let's just show you a picture of old Asia here. Look at this. Look at this picture. There she is.
Oh,
know
that
what?
is Asia.
That's exactly what I pictured.
Yeah.
is that a hat?
That's a colander. It's a strainer.
That's the colander?
That's a colander.
It doesn't look like
It's a colander.
It's a nice metal colander.
Now, the lemon, a St.
but
George.
it's punched out in
Looks
the shape
like
of
something you
pineapples.
might wear
is.
in war.
She is. Well,
I'm just saying.
this isn't MASH.
That was my point.
Lemon.
Head to the
Racism.
bomb shelter.
Now, Lemon, who is
Wrong
a St.
country.
George resident, she's a former porn star.
Oh, God.
Now, she performed under the name Asia Carrera. And for those of you wanting to Google that, it's Asia Carrera is spelled Carrera. Now,
Just put ping pong at the end of it and see what happens.
the Flying Spaghetti Monster movement, also known... No, wait, this is very serious. This is religion.
I know.
The Flying Spaghetti Monster movement, also known as Pastafarianism, started in 2005 as a protest against teaching intelligent design as an alternative to evolution in Kansas state schools. When she had the
All of a
photo,
sudden, I believe in her.
when she had the photo taken September 29th, Lemon said that she wasn't sure if officials at the Division of Motor Vehicles office in Hurricane would allow her to wear the headgear, but she says, quote, it was surprisingly really, really easy. Now, Nanette Rolfe, the director of Utah's driver's license division, said about a dozen Pastafarians have had their state driver's license photos taken with a similar colander or pasta strainer on their head in recent years. She says, quote, as long as we can get a visual of the face, we're fine if they choose to wear headgear. Now, hats and headgear are not allowed for driver's license photos unless they're religious garments, Rolfe said. After the first few Pastafarians came in about 2 years ago, state officials determined that the church is an officially recognized religion and its members do not require any special paperwork. She said that she wanted to make a statement with her photo. She says, quote, I'm a really proud, outspoken atheist. She said, I'm proud of Utah for allowing freedom of all religions in what they consider to be many to be a one religion state. About 2/3 of the state's residents are Mormons, and Utah is the home to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Lemon said that whatever. I'm now doing all consonants.
That's where angel hair pasta comes from.
The ones we missed.
States.
Lemon said that even though Utah is a conservative state, everyone has been respectful of her religious beliefs. So here we are, the Pastafarians. Are there popcornifarians? Because that smells lovely. Is that white cheddar shit again?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Keep buying it.
I love that shit. Maybe they should be a sponsor. I love that shit.
Okay, 2 things.
We're obviously a health.
Do you actually have 2 things this
I
time?
actually have 2 things this time.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, St. George is lovely, and that's where everyone in Utah goes when they're just young and dumb and get drunk on a houseboat.
You are from Utah.
I am from Utah,
right?
yeah.
So you should know more about this.
And number 2, anyone that's interested, Asia Carrera has her own website. It's Asia Carrera's butt-kicking homepage. And her top quote is, like all good dictators, I'm a sweetheart as long as you play by my rules.
Okay.
But no, wait.
With a photo of her being scantily clad.
So wait, let's look at this. Now wait.
I'm joining her fan club.
No, so wait. If you look at that, now
I'm opposed to the
do
dictate.
you see a similarity between her and here? Or
Yes,
no?
they're both Asian.
Makeup and wig.
We have a winner. We're both
Makeup and a wig.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
we have pissed off every Asian. They look the same.
Wow.
No.
No, that's the best endorsement she could have.
Ever?
I can still make this noise.
I'm the punk for you.
I'm so tight, I still make this noise.
You want sauce scrub?
Oh,
let
Yes,
me in.
I agree to play to your rules.
Let me in. What do we have now?
Oh, God in heaven.
Where's her DMV?
Check out my one-of-a-kind items selling on eBay.
Where's her
Bulletins page.
Where's her DMV photo on that website?
Right
it
there.
doesn't look like the same girl. Or well, I don't know how old that picture is. That she may have been 20. This is probably 50.
And she's clearly
Have we not
wearing
spent
some
enough
makeup.
time with drag queens to realize how much makeup in a wig can do for someone?
Look, I am
We
not.
not.
I'm not throwing stones.
No, but it's true.
Marty.
Hang on. Filmography.
Marty, do you have a story
she's
about
wearing
something?
a metal hat, so she's
Well,
fine.
I'd like to go back to Florida.
Yay!
Why not stay
I'd
there?
like to go back to Florida. There was a bra-wearing man that was blocking Floridians from an ATM.
If you will.
Well, and he had some things in his pocket that I clearly, I looked for them around my house. I don't know where I must have dropped them. You don't see it every day, but in Florida you probably do. The police encountered a man wearing a jacket and a brassiere, riding a bicycle.
It's a smart look. I'm doing it right
It's
now.
lovely, yes.
It's a smart look.
Tim Gunn approves. And
Make it work.
yeah, he was in front of a bank branch, just riding back and forth, preventing people from using the ATM. So the Fort Pierce police asked this Gregory Herndon, who's really a handsome,
He's a looker.
handsome lad.
If he could just turn that frown upside down.
I know, right? To
Stop
empty his
those bank
pockets.
hijinks, I'd be in.
That's right. Hijinks. To empty his pockets, and though I got him into trouble, he agreed. Out came a pair of women's undergarments, as they do, a crack pipe, of course, 2 needles for drug use, not
Just
for
in case.
Can't
Not
have
for
one without the other.
darning, and
Darning.
a pill bottle, and of course brass wool, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. According
A what?
brass wool.
It's like steel wool,
Steel
but made out
wool?
of brass.
But what's it for?
Used to strain. I love that I know this.
God, why do you know this?
I don't know.
Used to strain what?
It's used to strain and filter whatever you've cooked in the spoon when you put it into the syringe so that you don't get like chunks of your rock.
I know what the sirens outside are about now.
That's why she's not here.
Yeah, my mother is so proud.
Wow, I did not know. Thank you for that hijinks.
Come on, I have that bag of crack for a second. I'm going to start buying
Welcome
this
to cookingmeth.com.
No shit.
So basically, the poor Greg Herndon and his hijinks was obviously arrested. And, he had that paraphernalia. And he was resisting an officer without violence. Which, that made me laugh. Like, what was he doing?
No.
You can't make me. My dad could beat up your dad.
These are only hijinks. You're safe.
His bond was set at $15,500. He had previously been in jail.
Remember last week, the person who had a bond, who had a bail was set at $100?
$100. Jail. He had previously been there, for manufacturing meth in his home, which is weird.
Or excessive purchase of brass wool.
Well, he also attempted to flee from cops during an ill-fated cocaine purchase. So, poor Greg Herndon. He is.
It's been a rough week.
It has been.
But at least he wasn't driving.
Take your brassiere and go home. He should have been arrested for a BWI.
Brawl while intoxicated?
Biking.
Oh!
Or a BUI. Biking while under the influence. That's right.
Yeah, that was me last week.
It could happen.
Oh, yeah, it was you last week. Good God.
Somebody told me in those classes that they tell you that can happen. Anyway.
I lost my interest in riding my bike on the way home last week. I just fell over.
By the way, I woke up on Wednesday morning.
Didn't get hit by anything, didn't stop, just lost interest in pedaling in any kind of forward motion.
And just blunk.
Yep, I just ditched the bike. So I had to get up the next day and find out, did I leave the bike there? Did I continue on with the bike?
Oh my God, that's fantastic. That's weird. I didn't think you had anything to drink last week.
My shoulder hurt.
No. I can believe that.
Yeah. My shoulder hurt so bad on Wednesday morning because after the show was done, you all left.
Yeah.
He and I set up my big computer with those big screens and watched everything that Liza, Barbara, Judy, anybody had ever sung live. Anybody. And every time something that Homie liked, he just beat the shit on our. Look at that! It was wonderful! And I woke up like, what the fuck? Oh, Al was here.
That's why I was so tired on the ride home.
You just had to stop.
I did. I just laid the bike down. Just laid down on the ground with the bike on top of me. And the next day I'm like, am I hurt? Nope, just laid down.
No.
I was just talking about that this morning, about how some girls are just hitters.
That's
Apparently,
funny.
you're one of those girls.
Yeah.
Factual.
Hey,
Factual.
girl, hey.
All
Hi,
right.
Jinx.
Go.
All right, we're going to move on. Now, an apparently inebriated man stole a bulldozer from a West Hudson Park construction site and wreaked havoc in the park as he tried to drive it home from Harrison to Newark on Friday. I'm going to assume that this is all in New Jersey.
Yep, I would think so.
Quote, he said it was cold. He was trying to ride it home. Let me start back over. He said it was cold and was trying to ride it home to the ironbound section of Newark. Harrison Police Captain Mike Green told the Jersey Journal about Christopher Russell, 30 years old, who was arrested that night. Inside the park, the bulldozer leveled signs, 3 benches, 2 steel barriers, a tree, a drinking fountain, fencing, construction materials, and also damaged a bridge, tore up grass, and left a maze of tractor tracks all over the park.
I'm a fan.
Now, the bulldozer eventually made it out and struck a parked car.
Oh, God.
Finally, everything else succumbed.
Right.
Just after 9 p.m. Friday, police began receiving crazy hijink reports of a bulldozer being at various locations within the park. Including Davis Lane and Cross Street, which is 2 blocks from the park. And when police finally caught up to the bulldozer, it was in the middle of a street at Russell, and the guy was climbing out of it. Police said Russell smelled of alcohol and admitted to having taken the bulldozer, saying that he was cold and wanted to drive it home. Russell said that he found the keys inside the bulldozer when he got there. Russell was taken into custody.
So it's their fault.
Yeah.
Yes. It's your fault.
Clearly not his fault.
I'm pretty sure on the construction team, whoever left the keys in the dozer gets a little talk to or fired.
Gets a little fired is what they
Russell, they're on a star tour at different construction sites. Russell, however, he was taken into custody without incident, was charged with driving while intoxicated, criminal mischief, leaving the scene of an accident.
I love criminal mischief.
Theft of a bulldozer. Russell's bail was set at $20,000 with a 10% cash option.
Oh.
Remember?
He was
There it
then
is.
$10 about the $10.
Yep.
he was then remanded into the Hudson County Jail in Kearney.
All of those places, by the way, where my family lives in New Jersey. That's funny.
When I finally go to
like
prison, I want to make
You
sure
gonna marry Manson?
that we plead up or down to criminal mischief.
Deal.
I shot her.
Sure.
I was mischievous through the whole thing.
Mischievous.
Woo!
I was.
I wanted
The
that-
hijinks.
hijinks were crazy.
We'll have to plan the hijinks accordingly.
Yeah, criminal hijinks.
No.
I would like to know what the definition
Zoinks.
is. There? Let me zoinks, jinkies.
Hijinks.
I want to know if you Google criminal mischief. Hang on,
I think it just means you were just fucking around. Like you had no intent to hurt anybody. You were just being an ass.
There's no mens
Yeah.
ray.
Yeah.
criminal mischief.
Thank you.
Bong bong.
Definition.
Somebody's been watching How to Get Away with Murder.
No.
Okay.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
different
Yeah.
reason that I know
Enough.
that.
Thank God for Wikipedia.
And not personal.
Thank God.
Criminal mischief. Governed by state law, criminal mischief is committed when a perpetrator, having no right to do so, nor any reasonable ground to believe that he or she has such a right, intentionally damages property of another person, intentionally participates in the destruction of property of any other person, or participates in the... I needed to click on something else. I lost
for
it.
Wait for
Follow
it.
this link.
Hijinks.
Where the hell did it go?
Awkward
Oh, wait.
pause.
Where did it go? It's bad. I'm just gonna...
It'll cost you 10% of $20,000
yes.
if you do it.
It typically involves any damage, defacement, alteration, or destruction of property. Common forms include vandalism, graffiti, or some other destruction or defacement of property other than arson. So arson is not included.
No.
That's not mischief.
Do
No.
not set shit on fire.
No. That's not good. Not good.
That bulldozer would have sparked a flame. Ooh,
Horrible, horrible.
trouble.
Big trouble. Little China.
So we've discussed before our little phobias when it comes, like the idea of spiders and bugs and
Burn it down.
things,
Burn it down.
or ear maggots,
Laura.
Yeah, I'm not in.
Well,
or spiders in your ear.
no.
I don't know if you guys heard about that.
happens.
That was 2 weeks ago, a week ago, something.
I
But
had
this-
spiders in my ear, so I didn't hear it.
What was that? What was that? Come on, Charlotte, get out. No matter how bad your day might be, it can't be as bad as the young man who had to have hundreds of maggots removed from his ears with tweezers. The fact that this shit happens is too much for me. Too much for me. An unidentified patient, because he couldn't hear him ask him his name. This person was in India, was complaining about buzzing.
Another reason not to go.
There's a lot of reasons.
Wow,
Complaining
right down India hard.
big time. Yeah, because lots of reasons. He complained about buzzing in his ear. Yeah. So the reason that this kind of jumped out at me is I was sitting there, and you know when you get a cold, you're like, your ear kind of itches, or it's like getting sick. Yeah. And then
It's
I read
bugs.
this article. Oh, the fact that I didn't with my OCD.
Right, yeah.
Like run. Oh God. He discovered that the man had a condition that is caused when a person's nose or ears are infested with fly larvae. The buzzing in their ears, along with a smelly discharge.
Wait, they've got a name. So this happens more than once.
Yes, it's called aural. I'm saying that wrong, but I don't even care. Myiasis.
A-U-R-A-L. Aural.
A-U-R-A-L.
Like
Aural?
just like I spelled it.
Yeah, I didn't hear you because I don't have
Same
these
as
on.
mine.
Aural, and then
when she did it, it was
M-Y-A-S-I-S.
Yep.
Myiasis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, seriously.
I was told there'd be no spelling.
The terrifying.
Or
Just
the story.
fucking terrifying. Many people that have this, they feed off the patient's inner ear flesh and burrow into the brain, and it could have killed them. It could have killed this guy.
I would rather be dead.
I would rather be dead. I'm totally with you. Then lay there and be like, oh no, you missed one.
What was wrong with you? Why were you in the hospital? I had maggots in my ears. Are you happy now?
I know. The doctor first suffocated the bugs, so they fled to the entrance, and then he removed them one or two at a time. There are hundreds, 1 or 2 at a time. Fuck you.
Who's that more uncomfortable for?
That is not okay.
This happens in tropical and subtropical areas, so I will not be traveling. Thank you.
Without
And
earplugs.
There's fatality rate of 8%. The fact that 8% of people die from this is a problem to me.
That means 100 people had to have it.
And 8 of them died.
We don't need math. Most patients are kids younger than 10 and very ill.
92% lived.
With maggots in their ears.
Clayton with the math.
They came out on top.
God. Preventative treatment is the best. So
It's called
if anybody
Raid.
sleeps,
Or earmuffs. Just
Not tonight.
Not tonight. And we hear buzzing. Oh my God, I'll fucking lose my mind.
That's
a
nuts.
child, an old person, and you see houseflies there. You see any houseflies. Put some cloth on their face so they don't enter into the orifices or lay their eggs.
To a pillow.
Fucking done. I am done. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because the spider in the ear happened when Mom was in the hospital a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The British singer had a spider in her ear. Oh, I thought, well, that's the only thing that, that's disgusting. And it happens way more than any of us know. Everyone should watch out for the spider in the ear thing. I'm just hijinks making a statement.
I'm on the lookout.
I am concerned about
As it
that.
turns
And
out,
the buzzing and houseflies, just fucking run. Or
Forget
get a
about
bunch
it.
of cheesecloth.
burn it down.
Something.
Okay,
I have one of those ear looker things in case you want. Yeah, I'll check you.
Did you steal it?
No, I bought it. They're like
always
$12
fucking-
at CVS.
Oh, I always look to steal it when I'm at the doctor.
I bought it. Like,
I mean, I would now.
Paid
I'm
for
just
it with
saying.
money.
One horrible day, and for no
Steal
reason
it.
that we ever found in Tim and I's house, there was flies. And at first it was like a couple in the kitchen. And then over the course of a couple hours, there was like more in the kitchen. And then we like looked around and the laundry room was like filled with flies. And we were like killing the flies and having to do this stuff. We never found any source, any maggots, anything. Just somehow every fly in North America got in our house. And at one point we were like killing flies. And I'm
It's like
Tim,
Amityville Horror.
and I'm like, Tim, I feel like I'm in a nightmare that I can't wake up from. Like, I feel like this is a dream. And he's like, I thought that about 10 minutes ago. Because it just got grosser. Because they were just falling, like just dying. And we never
And they're not
found out-
flying fast, right? That's how Aaron's house will get like that. And no idea.
And there,
Same thing?
It was like a number
it's
where like
disgusting.
it just went on and on and on. And I feel like I'm in some kind of a nightmare.
And then you just feel like dirty and you're like,
Yeah.
what? There's something dead here. And oh, yeah. And now apparently it's in your ears. Hijinks.
Well, speaking of dad, a Polish doctor says that she's been in deep shock since learning that a 91-year-old woman that she pronounced dead
Amityville.
woke up in a morgue several hours later. The doctor,
like you do,
identified in the media as only, let's see if we can do this, Weislawa?
Sure.
Sure.
I'll allow it.
Misdiagnosing bitch. She said on TV last Friday that she was sure that the patient was dead after finding, quote, no basic life functions during a morning house call on November 6th. She said that she checked for a pulse on the forearm, checked the neck and checked the neck arteries, listened for a heartbeat and the sound of breathing, checked the pupils for a reaction to light, but found nothing, absolutely nothing. She says, if I would have had doubts, I would have called the ambulance, or done an electrocardiogram, but I was sure that the patient was dead. The doctor examined the elderly woman, identified by the media as
not dead.
Janina starts with the K, in the eastern town of Ostro-Lubelski, after relatives noticed that she was not breathing. Now, some 2 hours after she was pronounced dead, the woman was taken to the morgue. Shortly before midnight, an undertaker who had brought in another body noticed that the body was moving inside the bag.
Okay.
Once he opened it,
Flies.
She complained of being cold and asked for tea.
She just took a nap.
The media then said that she was taken back home.
Oh, my God.
A spokesman for local...
And it asked for a different doctor.
That's right.
A spokesman for local prosecutors says that they told the Associated Press that she had never heard of such a case before and that prosecutors are investigating whether the patient's life and health were ever endangered by an inaccurate death diagnosis. They're also urging a regional court to void a death certificate that local authorities had issued, which discontinued her benefits and her pension.
Yeah. How do you fight that?
In the legal
I'm
sense...
here.
Hijinks.
Here's my death certificate. Here's me.
In the legal sense, the woman's dead. But in the reality, she's alive.
So now, do you get a rebirth certificate?
I don't know if you can or not.
I don't know.
She said,
You got to crawl through a vagina.
Well, kind of the unzip of the bag.
She said that
that's good.
She said that the woman required
Put a little fur on it.
The woman required no hospitalization since being removed from the morgue and is now in good health and at home. Good Lord.
Hijinks.
Well, Michael Jackson had a chamber like that, didn't he? Like
kinda.
similar hijinks.
Yeah.
Similar hijinks.
She's a deep sleeper.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
apparently. My God. Well, and 2 hours later, she was already at the morgue.
And looking for
Or-
tea.
That's
Or
service.
how has no one considered the possibility that she's the beginning of the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, very real.
Wow. She's a fly.
Huh?
She could
Don't
just
start
be a
with that
fly.
because when Katie June is back in this room,
Oh, Christ on the cross.
those two,
God.
fuck, we're
I
done.
know. I'm so unhappy that I can't find a way to steal A&E right now, and
Just come over to my house and watch it. You're fine.
sold.
AMC.
Done.
Same,
Yeah.
same
Whatever.
song. I don't give a shit.
Start today.
You're fine.
It's an American movie classic.
Sure.
So I thought this was very interesting. And nobody else might. I don't care. What most people
Al
don't
does it.
realize about homophobia. There was a letter that was written. I don't know if you guys saw it. A few people have had it on Facebook. And I thought that parts of it were clever. I thought parts of it were very clever. Excuse me.
Promotion of or description of, what is this?
It's a letter.
Defense
that,
of-
Why don't we let her read it?
a letter that some guy wrote
Here's
about
a
what the
thought.
real thing about homophobia.
You want to be back?
Hijinks.
You want to be,
Hijinks.
you want to be back next week, bitch?
I know where you live,
That
asshole.
microphone.
now we're back
but
to
I-
asshole.
Oh,
I can talk loud outside.
Should just stand right outside the
Yeah.
window and be like,
I'll just sneak in with Barney. Nobody's paying attention when that's
Screaming
happening.
zombie apocalypse.
you know where the cat door is, don't you?
Oh, the
real.
cat door. Oh.
See?
Come
Come on.
bump.
Thank you.
Hijinks. Hijinks.
Read your fucking story.
Hello.
All right.
She's tried to.
Yeah.
Holy aggression.
Man.
The girl in purple tries to read the story.
Just let her. Guy says, I don't understand homophobia. I mean, the word homophobia. I don't get it. Fear of gays? If a lot of gay folks move into your neighborhood, your property value goes up and you get a new Whole Foods. What's to be afraid of? I once heard a guy say, I don't want gays around. They'll try to convert me. They're not Jehovah's Witnesses, Skeeter. They don't spend Sunday knocking on doors and asking who's read from the book of Judy Garland.
Yeah. But I'll slap
Is,
you.
is there a
That's
book?
right.
'Cause I'd
I
like
don't
to
know,
find
but
it.
I think that'd be great. Sunday isn't for recruiting, it's for brunch, silly. And if the reason you don't want to be around gay men is because you're afraid they'll somehow be able to talk you into being gay, well then, surprise. You're gay. If you're totally straight, then what are you afraid of? You'll be at a party, some tall drink of water's gonna be handing out free BJ coupons, and you'll think, well, I can't turn down a deal, now can I? Not in this economy.
Where's that party?
Homophobia isn't fear of gays. It's fear you may be gay. It shouldn't be called I'm a homophobia. That fucking made me laugh.
Yeah, I'm a homophobia.
I'm a homophobia.
It sounds Latin.
And for the record, don't be afraid. Gay men aren't vampires. They don't bite. I don't totally believe that part. And
Yeah.
they can't convert you. They'll be more like Hagrid from Harry Potter. All they can do is introduce you to a fabulous new world by letting you know the magic was in you all along. I just thought that was very cute. With was it Morgan Freeman or did he just get that? Because then like 9 other people had the memes
Homophobia
of
is
it.
homophobia is not a fear. It just means you're an asshole.
Yeah, it just means you're an asshole. You don't have a phobia. You're just an asshole.
What makes me laugh about that is how like you take like homophobia literally means fear of the same.
Yep.
Right.
Homo is same.
Same.
So it's kind of funny how it means I fear gays. Well, you really don't in that
No.
story. Like when you talk about pedophile, that just means you like children.
Right.
It's not dirty. That's a pederast. Right. You know what I mean? Like there's
The wrong
when
term
we've
is
talked
being
about
used.
that
yeah,
before,
they
right.
were throwing around the wrong term.
Right.
But
have you guys ever had that happen? Where you have straight friends that all of a sudden with the convert kind of piece where you have straight friends that are like, oh, well, and then they find out you're gay? And suddenly
I have not experienced that, no.
Oh, I
it's
have.
been a long time.
It's been
A
a
long
really
time
long
ago.
time
Yeah,
since
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
was surprised I was gay.
No,
first of
but
all.
I'm saying, but a
Probably
long
the
time
socks.
ago. Yeah.
How long since somebody's been surprised you're a
Wait,
woman?
What socks?
oh,
What
again,
socks?
probably the socks.
I heard you, asshole.
I know you did, asshole.
But, I mean,
Assholette.
And it's been a while.
Definitely years and years ago, sure. But the idea that people all of a sudden would be like, oh, well, straight women, I think maybe more, because gay men or straight men get very, because I think about that kind of physical act in men's minds as far as that goes. But for women,
I have to be a lesbian is rent a U-Haul and you're in. You know what I mean?
Totally. Or
you gotta suck a dick or do anything dirty.
Die in bed.
But women hug each other, right? And there's this kind of thing that goes along with it where all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you think that she hugged me because she likes me?
Yeah, but feed her 3 more Chardonnays and she's making out with you in the bathroom. Like,
totally. Yeah.
Fine.
And that, feed her
That's
3 more
college
Chardonnays. Right.
Again, you may already be gay.
Sure. You may already be gay.
That's Q
exactly
and that acronym of all those letters. You're the
right.
Q.
That's right. Well,
Welcome to
you're
Q.
the M. For more.
I know a lot of people that stick their toe in that pool. You know what I mean?
Sure. Absolutely.
They all didn't swim.
There's
but
a pool too?
Well,
God, there's so many things.
my deal was
I may or
always,
may not have been the pool once or twice.
just swim. Just swim. That's what Dory says.
I'm just
that's
treading water.
strong argument for pedicures over there.
That's what Dory says. Just swim. Keep
You have
swimming.
your toe in me.
Oh, is that your toe? Or are you happy
was
to
a
see
metaphor.
me?
There's a category for that. I've seen it.
I am treading water.
It's on the Asian website, I
I'm
think.
treading water looking for a
I
skimmer.
found her filmography.
Oh, Lord.
Hijinks.
Hijinks.
When the toe comes out.
Let's go. Let's take a story up close to where Marnie's from.
Ew.
Not the same state, but close.
To where Marnie's from. Look where her toe is. Oh, it's out.
Can't see
it's
it.
out. Toes
It's out. Toes out.
Hands out.
We have we have oral confirmation.
A group of Michigan rocket enthusiasts is preparing to conduct an experiment involving a modified porta potty.
You do know that Michigan and Minnesota are not the same state, right?
No, I said
Close.
up to the area where she's
okay.
in the area she's from.
Area.
Close-ish.
Up there.
Yep.
The group, dubbed the Throne Thrusters, plans to launch the portable restroom thousands of feet into the air near Three Oaks, Michigan.
Of course they do.
The group is mainly composed of members of Michiana Rocketry, a local high-power rocketry club
Wow.
that frequently launches rockets, according to Larry Kingman of the Throne Thrusters group.
I say, according to their neighbors who've had many a failed launch land in their yard.
The project has been in the works for about 2.5 years.
Ever since Charlie had to go to the bathroom.
I gotta go potty, Daddy.
The group came up with the idea at a meeting after one member pondered the possibility of launching a porta potty with the right engine power, Kingman said.
Shitter's full.
Exactly, shitters
Shitters
full.
full.
We like to send out a mailer.
Please turn shitters to full.
Let's get a rocketry club together.
Dave McVeigh, the owner of the local retail hobby store, ponied towards the old
not
decrepit
good.
porta potty bathroom sitting nearby in the field and said, "Hey, I'll provide the rocket motors if anybody wants to make a rocket out of that." In the bat of an eye,
I got a visual on this whole story
in
now.
the bat of
There's
an
a
eye,
Budweiser in somebody's hand.
in the bat of an eye, everyone present had their hand in the air saying, "Count me in." The group's press release reads, a company donated a decommissioned porta potty to the group for the experiment. Now, members of the Throne Thrusters have equipped it with cameras, parachutes, 7 motors, and measuring equipment.
They had the cameras in there previously when it was just sitting in the field waiting
Now,
for a hot tourist.
Allegedly.
The group is aiming to increase awareness of rocketry as a
Aiming.
hobby, as well as prove that it's possible to turn a porta potty into a rocket and launch it successfully. Because a lot of people have questioned that. The public is invited to watch the launch of the rocket, which the group has named Thrusting the Throne.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
They have a logo.
Hijinks.
They are doing this
They have a logo.
in just a couple of days on November
Oh, that's fantastic.
22nd.
Logo, isn't that nice?
That's fantastic. I would
Thrusting
like to be
the throne.
Can we be honorary members? How do we go about that? Because I kind of want a T-shirt.
How do you... Why? Just go.
I
You
do.
wanna be
Well,
a
no,
throne- wait,
that's their
stand by.
tagline.
Let's
Just
go to
go.
Brandex T-shirts and get Thrusting the Throne
That's their
T-shirts made.
tagline. Just go.
Just go. That's a tagline.
Yeah.
They probably were watching Gravity and thought, it's been 90 minutes. Doesn't she have to pee?
Right.
And
They
there it
just
went.
do that in a suit.
Oh, that's what flew at me at your
Yeah.
house.
Crystallized urine.
And that, boys
Please
and
turn
girls,
shitters to full.
that is...
Didn't you guys watch the Challenger demonstration? They just go in their suit.
Oh, too soon.
Not really.
Kind of.
Not really.
When was it? No, I'm just
I was-
kidding.
I was 8.
It was 86. That's funny.
That's the end
awful.
of that's the end of headlines, and let's move on to another stimulating portion of tonight's show. We call it Entertainment with Al Perkins.
shenanigans. Anyways.
Hijinks.
It's a bad week for Sean Hayes.
Yeah, it is. Damn it.
Oh, everything didn't cross over. Netflix announces a comeback. I think we have a topic to discuss. And we have one of my favorite things renewed and a little Broadway review, and
very nice.
We'll get to it. Turns out I only wrote down 5 things. I thought I found other stuff. Maybe it didn't.
I have 2
other
things
stuff
that I just want to ask you about.
Oh, well, go ahead. Start with you.
Oh, Pablo Schreiber. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, that's the real name of... Oh, shit. I know who that is, too.
It's okay. Orange is the New Black.
Oh, yeah.
Porn Stash,
yeah.
Porn Stash from Orange is the New
He's
Black.
on Weeds, too.
He was also on, because I love Law and Order, but SVU.
Yeah, SVU. He's
creepy.
He's the one that's always after Mariska Hargitay.
Correct.
Yeah.
I did not know. I went to look up something about him, and I did not know if you knew he was nominated for a Tony Award for his Broadway debut performance in the revival of Clifford Odets' classic Awake and Sing.
Yeah. Oh, I was not aware.
Yeah.
Because he changes his look so much, and he's one of those people that plays all different nationalities.
Oh, sure.
Like he was a Russian. He was a Russian. A Russian mobster on Weeds.
Okay.
And so when he turned up on as Porn Stash on Orange is the New Black, I'm like, I've seen this guy before.
I just saw him in something else too.
Erin was asking me about Law and Order and about SVU, and she said, "Did you see that one?" And then Mariska got blah blah blah, or Olivia, and she's going on. And I said, "That's Porn Stash." She's like, "No, it's not." That's what made me.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh is when I kept seeing the commercials for SVU, and I'm like, God, that guy is familiar. So I had to Google the episode and get the right thing to find out who it was. But he changes his look so much.
I guess what jumped out at me, obviously, is the fact that he was nominated for a Tony. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and he's a hot guy, and he was very nude on Weeds.
Not at all on Orange is the New Black.
Right, that's because he changed, and he's scary on the other one. Right, yeah.
Right. And he's so scary. He's
such
so
a chameleon,
good at playing, yeah. He's so good at playing, just creepy. The only other thing was something that I don't know that you would have ever paid attention to, Kat, except for just musically. Maybe paying attention, but not at the time.
Are you talking about this show?
Bob Geldof.
Oh, yes. His daughter just died.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
Lily, we actually talked about it on the show.
Lily. Turns out it was a heroin overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't listen. to you guys.
Not the one that he fought with the one that he shared custody with Michael Hutchins from In Excess.
Oh,
not
right.
her.
Okay.
The other daughter, or was it the one that he shared custody? No, that one's got a funny name. The one that he shared custody with Michael Geldof has a weird name. That
has next to zero to do with this, so I have no idea about that. They are preparing to release a new version of Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I saw that. It's for the 30th anniversary. And I'm like, the what?
Oh, yeah.
At which point there was something else where they were trying to make me feel old as fucking dirt, and they had Ralph Macchio at 53. Does that make you feel old as the Karate
makes him
Kid?
old,
and I'm
not
like,
me.
No, but I mean, as
I'm
far
not
as going,
53, bitch.
no, but I'm like, what?
I know.
Oh my God. But 30th anniversary for Band-Aid. The Boomtown Rats frontman co-wrote the first track, and they're expected to announce a new lineup of pop heavyweights it's a 4th recording. Did you know that?
No,
I didn't either. I thought there was just the one.
No, they did. They did a couple years ago update it with current stars.
Right? Yeah,
it wasn't great, but
obviously it didn't go anywhere. I don't remember hearing.
It was okay. It just missed. It didn't have the charm for me of bands, especially in 1984. It was bands that really only I'd ever heard of.
Sure.
None of them had made it big. I think Bananarama. Well, I guess everybody had kind of made it big.
Well, it was re-recorded. Well, and that's where it said as far as the 89 and 2004. But I'm like, I had no idea about that.
The 89 one I'm not familiar with. The 2004 one I was.
Right. The original supergroup featured the likes of Bananarama, George Michael, Duran Duran, Bono,
Boy George.
The only singer to perform the same line in both the original and the most recent versions is Bono.
Right.
The Irishman was joined 10 years ago by what were some fresh faces, including Will Young, Jamelia. These are people like, honest to God, I don't even know, except for Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah. Didn't know them then. Don't know them now.
Don't know them now. I mean, Ms. Dynamite, Rachel Stevens, no idea. Busted, Kate.
And that's how you could describe all of their voices.
Chris Martin was the only other one. Natasha
from
Bedingfield.
Coldplay, yeah. And it really was like none of them had the voices, and they couldn't do the smooth. If you watch it, it's just not the same with those 80s singers with those beautiful voices when Sting and Bono do the harmony and oh my God, just lovely. That song gets me every fucking year.
It does, me too.
World of plenty.
Yep.
We can spread a smile of joy.
It was so good, and I loved what you just did with it. That was fun.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I do, because that was very good. But if they're going to do a 30th anniversary, it would be fun to see what that could look like, to bring the
and that's why
original.
That's why I hated "We Are the Rich, We Are the Famous" so much. I hated that fucking song. We are the rich, we are the famous. Like it was.
We are the world.
Yeah, no, I know, but I don't think I ever heard that.
No, that's the version I always think of it.
That's the parody version.
Oh, got it. Because I'm like, I never heard a parody of it.
I don't know. That was just so. It was just so self-indulgent compared to how simple. Like, do they know it's Christmas and the wishing for water and the. Oh, everything about We Are the World just annoyed the shit out of me. But
okay, see, and I loved it.
Yeah, you had me transfer from vinyl.
No, I had you transfer Band-Aid.
Band-Aid, my bad.
Yeah, do they know it's Christmas? Because that amazes me. Their voices amaze me. The harmonies. Right. The one part about We Are the World that gets me is, especially if you see the video, it goes from Steve Perry from Journey into Kenny Loggins, and then they duet together, and you could just watch the rest of them like, oh, we're just fucking around here. These two just went at it. Oh no, maybe I think it's Daryl Hall into Steve Perry into Kenny Loggins,
and he means all of this literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and they just my nipples get hurt. They all just hit this note, and you can just watch the rest of them like. Oh, we're just fucking up. Like, we're all doing our shtick, and
we're standing here.
Those three just decided to sing the song like singers, not be us. You know what I mean? Like, not give their little trills and their little bullshit. Sure. And then We Are the World. It's all in service of the song. It's very lovely. They harmonize. Love that song. Or do they know it's Christmas? That's every year I wait for that, and I cry every time, especially when there's the extended version, which is what I made you do, where they all talk.
Oh, okay.
And they all say Happy Christmas. Hi, I'm Siobhan. I'm whatever. We're Bernard around my Happy Christmas. And the guy from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I can't get the laugh right, Bob.
That's cute. That's cute.
And it's Midgear from Ultravox, and he's the co-producer. Oh yeah, I mean those
and
were
Bob
all my.
Geldof was Ultravox, right?
No, that's Midgear.
Midgear. Okay.
Midgear was from Ultravox, and
he was Boomtown Rats. Okay.
But then there was a big thing because he was called Saint Bob for so long, and then he got in a custody battle with whatever her name is. And with Michael Hutchins was like, he's not Saint Bob. Like, fuck that. And Michael Hutchins, before he died, was on a big thing about tearing down his image. It was kind of bitter. So this just in, and I'm not sure when this was announced.
An hour ago.
Kathy Griffin will replace Joan Rivers on Fashion Police.
Oh.
That's a fun choice in the spirit of, and very, very irreverent. I didn't know that Joan knew that much about fashion until she died, so maybe Kathy's been studying up too to know that Joan went to Fashion Week and sat front row for years before she did anything with fashion, and she knew designers. So this is kind of fun. So they
are, I guess, up for grabs in that story is that Kelly Osbourne and Rancic are on board, but she's the other girl next to Kelly Osbourne, Julianne Rancic, are on board, but the George
Katsiopoulos.
Yeah, he is still out he's still up for grabs. We're not sure if he's coming back yet or not.
Katsiopoulos.
I don't know. And did it say in the story when they're coming back? Does it say when?
For the Golden Globes.
Okay, I figured they'd be in conspiracy with an award show. Is what I figured.
That was always when they were set to. It doesn't say in here, but that's when they said. The show will no longer be aired on a weekly basis, but will air only during award season and other special occasions as event programming. And Joan has always given her blessing to Kathy and wanted Kathy to be her successor. They were fun. So I just don't know. Maybe if the brand builds, if they get enough notoriety, like I don't think they can commit to a weekly thing until they find out how Kathy does and if she has.
If they work together.
And it wasn't a huge audience, but by cable standards, it was pretty good and did well. I was never aware it was on weekly till long after they were doing it. Like when I saw my first like best of the year, I'm like, we only had 4 shows. What's the best of the year? And I realized how many things they covered. I mean, the opening of an envelope was really well researched.
I hope they keep the followers of the show. I hope they continue to call them Joan Rangers. I think it should always be called Joan Rangers.
I think that too. That's a good point. That's really well done. So thank you for all your input, and now to me. But I really don't have one. So Sean Hayes has had a shitty week in Hollywood.
This has been.
He just joined The Millers, which was a show that on any other network but CBS would be their biggest show and a huge hit, and they would be sucking their dicks. But unfortunately, it's on CBS, where CBS has sitcoms that are working, so they don't treat shows with like 8 or 9 million viewers as well as other networks do. So The Millers they were trying to find something to inject a little bit more into it, and they added Sean Hayes this season, and the viewership just kind of stayed where it was, and CBS axed it right away. So here he just joins The Millers. It's one that had Margot Martindale and
funny.
It's a funny cast. The show was kind of annoying in that it's Job from Arrested Development. That's all I ever think of it when I see him.
I'll look it up.
I know what his son's name is too, but I can't think of his name.
What?
Amy Poehler's ex-husband.
Amy Poehler's ex-husband.
Right, I know him by everything else but his actual name. Will Arnett.
Former Mr.
Will Arnett. Will Arnett. And to me, it was just as bad as
comedian
most.
known as former
it was
Mr.
just
Poehler.
as bad as most CBS comedies. Like, they're all on that 2.5 Men, where it's just a masturbation joke 15,000 times. Like,
it's a big laugh track.
Right. Aside from Mom and The Big Bang Theory, I don't like. To me, they don't get any. None of them are very smart. Like, I just think they're all in that Everybody Loves Raymond, where it's just like a one joke show for 9 goddamn years.
Well, and some of it's funny occasionally. I mean, like,
in syndication or on an airplane, and you're watching it and you get a chuckle, but you're like, I would never come back for this show.
Right.
So to me, it was
DVR it.
Yeah. To me, it was. To me, it was neither. It wasn't either one. But they canceled it. And then Sean Hayes' his big baby is he's been a producer of Hot in Cleveland, and it's his main show. Sure. And they actually said the word canceled instead of just ending it. It's been on for after 6 years. You're not canceling something. You're just
finishing
announcing the finale. Sure. You have Betty White say she's done doing TV.
Here's my question in regards.
Dress that pig up.
So are you going to tell me more about the cancellation of the show? Because I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my question in regards to this.
Dress that pig up.
Yeah.
Here's my question in regards to it. It's in syndication in multiple countries. They're making their money. That's what, in my opinion, that's why the season went so quick. They got to get that shit all in a can so they can go to syndication, because that's where the money is.
Okay.
So they worked the shit out of that cast, including Betty. Everybody, they were all on board. It was a great show. It was very. I still do. I watch all of them. It's funny. I enjoy it.
Sure.
My theory on this is because this came out of nowhere. In fact, if I'm not mistaken with what I read about it, the producers of the show were already talking about season 7 and 8. Like, they're going on, and all of a sudden, boom, it's canceled. My theory is something's up with White. All of a sudden, they're like, shit, we got to get out of this, because I think something's going with White. And they're like, we got to wrap this up clean, because they don't want something messy. They don't want to drag out. Where all of a sudden they're in the middle of season 7, and she strokes out or
her
has a problem.
Seemed to be off a little bit.
Oh, I haven't even followed up enough. But I think something. Again, I haven't read anything. That's just my assumption.
It seemed like
something's up with White.
And I'm not going to disagree with you at all, because and I don't even know if I'm using the right word with saying timing, but that's
her delivery was just a little different.
It was a little simpler. Everything seemed far more simple.
And I hate the thought.
And cutaways to her
were different.
And they're like cutting away to her, so she's not really in the scene. Like, she walks through, and then she only. Like they did
a little quip.
That's when you found out that what's her face was really sick on the Golden Girls. Was that
Estelle Getty?
She was only in cutaways. Like they'd show her.
They'd shoot her separate from the rest of it.
Yeah, so hers were all close-ups, like they have to do with little kids. And like that's how the trick with Full House was. There was never a full shot with one of them landing a joke.
Yeah, because the little kids were filmed separately.
They would have to be cut to a close-up to get the joke.
Funny, we're back to Full House.
But if you watch Lily on Modern Family, She's in full. They don't close up on
No,
her jokes.
she delivers.
She lands them and walks. Like she walks and talks and gets them
And
real.
basically snaps.
Yeah. I love
She
her
gets
for that.
She gets some good jokes in. Like
She
that.
does.
And they said that little girl wants to be an actress, and it's
Oh,
clear.
yeah.
When she says, "Come on, ladies," and she just kind of rolls her eyes and walks out of the scene.
And doesn't smirk like she's going to start laughing like
Yeah.
a little kid might.
She
She's
gets
good.
it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
I'm with you.
I think that there is something up with White, and I think it just got discovered of recent.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, let's just clean this up, wrap it
think
up,
she's 92.
and that there's no ugly.
Yeah. I think she's 92, and I think that it's just a matter of, at some point, you're just going to start to slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
no matter what.
It's just you have no choice.
No matter what. George Burns died when he was what? 100? Was he 100?
I can't remember if he
think
made it
was
to
not-
100.
No, he did not, because Whoopi
Oh, I
Goldberg
thought he
filled in for him.
did.
He was supposed to be at the Caesar's Palace in Vegas when he was 100, and Whoopi Goldberg stood in for him because I think
So
he
he
died
died
at
at 99.
99.
Okay.
I believe
Because,
that's what it
I
is.
mean, even with
pretty sure it's Whoopi Goldberg.
With George Burns. I mean, again, funny, dry anyway with his delivery.
Right.
But it was slower. And it became like, is this funny or kind of tragic? And by no means would I ever call Betty White tragic. But I
don't
think
want it
that's
to
what
turn
they
into
wanted
that.
to avoid. Right, right.
Which is why I thought they would do something like, oh, she's just, but maybe she doesn't want to say like she's calling at the end. But I was really surprised that they used that. Oh, he
made it to 100.
made it to 100.
I thought he was on the cover of People,
but he
with
wasn't
his
able to
cigar
perform.
And 100.
January
Okay.
of 1896 to March of
something.
1996.
Yeah.
So he did make it, but he was not able to be there. So
Physically be able
yeah,
to perform. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Born in New York, died in Beverly Hills. Not
Nathan-
a bad combo.
No.
Real name was Nathan Birnbaum for George Burns.
Oh.
But again,
He was a Jew?
And one of the great love stories of in entertainment history.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah.
Gracie, 1926 to she died in
Good night,
64.
Gracie.
Comedic,
And he was,
comedic
he
genius.
was
She was
so-
brilliant.
She was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
And
really
he
was.
was so
She knew
brokenhearted.
timing. She knew everything. Well, she
Yeah.
was that show.
Yeah,
she was
she
the Burns
was.
and Allen show completely.
Have you ever seen any of that, Kat?
I haven't.
Ever?
Her time, she was fantastic.
If you ever have the time.
She just
to
played a dumb
kind of
blonde
go,
and did it.
Yeah, to just kind of go online and,
Yeah,
and
watch
see
it.
some of those.
She delivers
Yeah.
lines and can play completely a white sheet of paper.
Yeah.
and just
looks dumb as a brick.
perfectly fine.
But I don't believe she was.
Oh no, she absolutely
Yeah.
wasn't. She was quite the businesswoman.
At all.
Yeah, say
Oh.
goodnight, Gracie.
Yeah.
Goodnight, Gracie. Like
Have you
that's
ever heard that?
her.
That's where that comes
Yeah,
from.
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
From
Say
her
goodnight,
playing dumb.
Gracie.
So I mean,
Good night, Gracie.
So I was really surprised because
cute.
TV Land
God,
has
yeah.
has come and gone with all their original programming. They're trying to stick with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're giving up on their original
No,
programming.
no, they're not at all.
Because every time you think, oh,
Who
that
else?
show, I haven't seen
Who
that
else
show in like
is,
3 years.
Well, Cedric the Entertainer has a Soul Man.
Okay.
They have
Which I'm not big
they have
on.
the X's.
Dressling.
I'm not big on that one either.
Doesn't that one? They have a few more. But I mean,
Yeah, there's a few,
Hot in
just when
Cleveland
you
has
think-
really been the breakout.
Just when you think that they canceled something, like, and a new season of this starts, and you're
Yeah.
like, really? That's
Yeah.
still going on?
Totally with you.
Okay, so let's go back to my very, very short list. There's only 5 things on it, but we're stretching it. God bless us.
Well, do you have the Whoopi thing on there by any chance? Speaking of Whoopi?
Well, let's in its time. Oh, what?
I
No,
just
what?
wanted
What
to
about
make sure.
Whoopi? What about Whoopi?
Wait for it.
Concerning her response.
Her statement in regards to
Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby.
Oh, it's coming up. That's one of our conversations
discussion?
coming. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's the thing that I thought we might have a conversation about.
Okay.
So the fall with the guy that got cast in 50 Shades of Grey, Jamie Doran, and Gillian Anderson. So Gillian Anderson's gonna have 2 TV shows this winter. It comes back. It is about she is the and I think they made her British because she can't do an Irish accent, but she's the Scotland
legit.
Yard detective that goes to Dublin to solve the serial killer crimes. It's only 6 episodes. It's a typical British series, 6 to 8 episodes. Really well done, the first one, and she's the Scotland Yard detective that no one wants. I just couldn't figure out why she wasn't Irish like the rest of the cast. I'm like, maybe the Lucky Charms accent eluded her.
The accent. not
Because her
so
British
easy.
one is so perfect. And the season 2 debuts.
Well,
on
Clayton
Net-
and I could have done it.
yeah, perfectly.
Perfect accent.
But season 2
Sure.
of The Fall debuts on Netflix January 16th at midnight. And I have to tell you, this is one that someone recommended to me, and I watched it because it was only 6 episodes. I
Yeah.
watched it in a night. And it's really good. And he's so sexy. But his big complaint now is he feels he's being typecast, and he wants to play a movie where he's actually nice to a woman character. He asks,
all right,
may I please be cast in something? He's like, I'm a charming fellow, he said
guy.
in his Lucky Charms accent. And he's like, I would like to be nice to a woman in a feature film or TV show someday. So it's very new. And then my big worry was So You Think He Could Dance, and whether or not it would get renewed. The ratings are kind of low. They cling to their iTunes sales, and they've now adapted to the thing that Saturday Night Live did and HBO does. They want you to watch it on video
snippets, yeah,
and they want you to do the snippets and get it to go viral. And they'll take the viewers however they can do it, and they just put advertising on wherever you find them.
Which is smart.
Yeah, they control the site, they control the clips, and that way you will watch a commercial somewhere. We may not be, and it's summer TV. But they have a new twist this year, and they're going to do, because they've been very good in the last of I think it's their 13th season. They've been very good about not just getting classically trained dancers, but bringing in people who are street dancers that amazingly adapt. They just have such a gift that they adapt to trained styles. So what they're going to do is, instead of doing boys versus girls, which is kind of strange, they're going to do it street versus stage. So people who are trained in formal dance, people that are only street dancers, and they'll eliminate one a week, and it'll get down to like one stage, one street, just as a new twist. And I thought that was an interesting thing.
I think it is interesting. Yeah,
and it's one of the most entertaining talent shows on TV, because they have great choreographers, just great talent on there. And they get great music. All of the people listen to music, and it's a great way to find new music, if nothing else. So we'll come back with our little hot topic.
I love it. I love it.
I feel like the View all of a sudden.
I
Hot
know,
topic.
I know.
Who's the black girl?
That'd be me.
Okay.
I'm She's
Missy.
ratchet. This one's ratchet.
Oh Lord.
I'll be
know,
doing
right?
Negro hijinks
She's
in hour
so
3.
ratchet.
Hi, Jinx, and you like fancy shoes like Whoopi? Nope. There's that. All right, kids. It's the end of hour 2.
I'm just as bad of a black woman as I am a gay man. Nope. Still
End of
not
hour
going.
2.
Still
Going into
nowhere.
hour 3, we still got some entertainment stuff coming from Al, and we're going to go into sports and other stuff with Kat Carlson. And then, as we do each and every show, we wrap it up with thoughtful vulgarity, where Al poses a question and we try to avoid it.
That is the best description ever.
There we go. We'll be back just seconds away right here on Q Talk America. Stay with us.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. We are back. It's hour 3. If you look at the old clock on the wall, it's Clayton McKee alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins wrapping up our show, our cast for tonight's show. Next week, Katie June joins us back in studio.
Hi, Jinx.
The show becomes a 5-person show, so if you think that we've talked over each other
God help
for the first couple of years, just wait.
Also, if you remember Katie June.
She talks a lot herself.
A little bit. A little bit.
We will find out what ADD she's into, meaning what diets, what she's doing, what she's
trend.
lost
Oh my God.
interest in.
Oh my God! And how many she's been on?
We had to have missed like 6-7 diets by now.
Easily.
You never know.
It's
You
very
never know.
exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Anyhow, we are in the middle of our entertainment section with Al Perkins. So, Alfred, take it away, my dear.
Well, our last topic is something that it came up, and now somebody's got to Google who the comedian was that
Got it.
that got
Barbara.
no the male comedian.
Oh yeah.
The male comedian that made a point
Who
of
brought this back up on stage and was making a joke about it?
It is.
If we're talking about the...
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
yeah. So, anyways, this comic brought it up recently about, and it's a fuck. No, it's. Well, I just want to tell you, if you're having trouble listening or anything at home,
It's not on our end.
it's all on you. We are on the same delay as always.
We're streaming. Everything looks good coming out of
Yeah,
here.
the audio streamed right away, and so did the video. Like I just pulled up both, and the video is just a couple seconds
It
behind us.
shows me nothing wrong on anything we've got. So it may be on your end or the servers that distribute our show out to you. So if it may be beyond our control. Good luck.
All right,
And I love that you're telling the people that can't listen what the problem is. This is
Right,
my favorite thing.
Because when they listen back, it'll be their fault.
There. That's right.
Go into the chat room and tell them, fuck you people.
For those of you that can't hear me right now, here's why you can't hear me.
That commercial.
We missed you.
I have no internet. Well, you need to download our PDF file at www. No, I have no internet. Well,
So,
you
and
go to our
then just to
service.
backtrack slightly, Charles Manson had a son born in the 50s whose name was Charles Manson Jr., but he committed suicide in 1993.
Oh, I
And
didn't
now-
know that.
Leona Ray, or Candy Stevens, who was with him on and off for many years, she gave birth to a Charles Luther Manson. But his actual date of birth are kind of weird, and he's the one that people, like, he comes and goes. He's hard to find, but he is out there somewhere.
Okay. Probably with the name change.
Right, and there was,
I would think.
and people say there is someone in the compound in the ranch that said that the baby was his, and she sent him back to live with the parents, and I feel like they hid his identity.
Okay.
But there's someone in a band that says he's Charles Manson's son, and now I gotta think. I don't think it says in here. Oh yeah, the new rising sun. Kimberly Davis is a girl who does it. And there's someone named Zazozi Zadfrak Glutz that says. So that ends that question. Did you not find that fucking comedian yet?
I'm looking right here. I got it.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hannibal Buress, who was performing
Right.
in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
I just got it. That's why I'm like, well.
Hannibal Buress, he just brought up, and he's more famous than his name implies. You'll know him when you see him. He's the one that recently brought up allegations again of Cosby being a racist and that he really didn't like him as rapist. Racist.
Sorry, I'm like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, clear
He's
that up.
different.
He sticks it to you with a different
Slightly
device.
Different.
Yeah.
And so I had never heard these claims.
I had.
Until this, and so I looked it up, and it turns out there have been quite a few, and he's been investigated.
Yep.
And now, because of the problems of credibility of earlier witnesses, this woman has come forward and said she was assaulted by him on multiple occasions. And now I read just last night or the night before that I guess in a comedy act that he did in the late 60s, he talks about Spanish fly.
Okay.
And that Spanish fly is something you can slip a woman that makes her into everything.
Huh.
And from what the article said, everyone was kind of like, well, that's kind of a creepy topic for a comedian, especially in that era. You know, a black comedian making a comment about using something to get women turned on,
right.
roofing a woman.
Sure.
So very strange. And so that was the conversation was that I read was about that, was like, it was kind of in his act. So were people taking something that he thought was kind of funny in his act and going on about it? But now, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like
but it was in the 80s that someone came forward.
Right, but the stories are from the 60s and 70s.
Okay,
And this woman
okay.
that just recently came forward, her stories were from really
Brenda
earlier.
Bowman. Or Barbara Bowman. Barbara Bowman?
But her stories were from long ago when he was on the original Cosby Show in the 60s, like not even I Spy. And so now he's had a long
I didn't
affiliation with
realize that.
NBC.
Uh-huh.
Because he's had 3 big series for them. I think he had I Spy. He had one called Bill. Well, let's just go over to IMDb and type his name in. But he's had 3 TV series at least. Well, 4 too, because he had the one with Madeline Kahn too. That was called Cosby as well. I think everything.
It was just Cosby. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I think I'm just looking up Bill Cosby because all his shows were named after him. Yeah, Cosby TV series, which ran for 95 episodes. Cosby Mysteries, I forgot about that. The Cosby Show, 197 episodes. The Bill Cosby Show ran from 69 to 71, and that's the era where she met him.
Okay.
And then allegedly she had tickets, and then I Spy ran for 82 episodes. So he's had that's a lot of shows.
Right, but she didn't claim he raped her until the 80s.
Right, this one, but the new one was from while she was a writer. While he was a writer on the
I didn't know-
60s
okay.
Bill Cosby Show. This is
Okay.
the new one. This is that thing I read yesterday. She said that he drugged her, did this to her, and she didn't remember it, but she knew something had happened to her, and then she was invited to a show, and she didn't tell her mom. I think it was her mom that she didn't tell what had happened, so she couldn't explain why she didn't want to go, and her mom was such a fan. She was picked up by a limo, and it happened again. Okay. And she stayed silent because she was like, I don't really want to be known for this. But now that there was someone is doubting the credibility of the first woman, she came forward to say, well, here's my story too, and I stayed quiet.
Well, according to the Washington Post, the recent one came up first. In January of 2005, Andrea Constand, a former employee of Temple University, Cosby's alma mater, said that Cosby had drugged and assaulted her the year before, and no criminal case was brought against him. The district attorney investigating the charges cited a lack of evidence, but the accusation prompted other women to come forward. And the next month, California lawyer Tamara Green appeared on NBC's Today Show and alleged that in the 70s, Cosby had given her pills to weaken her motor skills and then assaulted her.
Yeah, but this new woman is new.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, this is the new one again that's adding credibility. And she says, and she said, I'm not after anything. I have nothing to gain by this.
Sure.
Statute of limitations is up. She's like, I just want
it's totally
more
up.
voices.
It's 7 years.
And you're at the where there's smoke, there's fire. But so now Netflix and NBC just entered this big new deal with him for a new series.
Oh, okay. And, I hadn't seen that. All right.
So now NBC, who's had this long affiliation with him, is kind of like, You literally can't get in bed with him, and it's
hijinks
right now. Is this a lot of people taking advantage of his fame and his money?
Absolutely not. Do not say that.
No. But that's the argument being put out. Or is this where there's smoke, there's fire? When this many people allege the same things, you kind of gotta start to believe it.
How do you prove it?
Yeah.
No. Please.
No, because it's a huge topic for me. Like,
it is for me as well.
Blame the victim.
Oh, no,
absolutely not.
Oh, I would not be one to do that ever.
No.
But
you don't just make that up. You don't just say, "Oh, sorry."
And
bullshit.
No.
Oh, I agree too. And when
I've been in that situation, but I'm going to tell you that I firmly believe that there would be some people that would make that up. And I'm not blaming a victim. I'm not saying out of these 13 people, all did. I'm not like on Whoopi Goldberg's side because I have a real issue with watching what she had to say and everything.
I didn't see it.
Whoa. Yeah, I
didn't see it. What did she say?
Well, she just was.
Is this from this morning or when? Okay.
So she's defending.
It was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, she is defending him because it's and this I saw this, but it on Monday's edition of The View, the co-hosts expressed some general skepticism, and it's the Republican.
Nicole Wallace.
Thank you.
I love her.
Who I really like.
I love her.
Because the co-host expressed some general skepticism over the validity of erupting allegations that comedian Bill Cosby drugged and raped more than a dozen women over the past several decades. Whoopi, who previously condoned the notion of a 43-year-old man sodomizing an unconscious 13-year-old because in her universe, that isn't rape, quote unquote, led the conversation, suggesting that she does not believe that actress Barbara Bowman's claims of being repeatedly sexually assaulted. And then it goes on. But the thing that she just was very flippant about ignoring the, like, you got to have proof. And she said some things that I could go with. She said some things that it was like, you have to be able to prove it. And you do. You can't,
right.
He said, she said, and you just can't.
Didn't she also raise the question of why wasn't there a rape kit done? Mm-hmm. And they're like, well.
Because it was 1970?
Right.
Right, 69. There was some.
Even still, 2005. You're exactly right. I think
And if you feel horrible about it and you go shower because you have to, then the rape kit is no longer valid. Like
that's right. Mm-hmm. And how do you tell somebody they can't?
Right.
I mean, for God's sake, it's ridiculous. But where is and Nicole Wallace basically Nicole Wallace, while everyone else was saying all of these things, said, hey, there are two things going on here. Either more than a dozen women were actually raped, and that's horrible. Mm-hmm. Or someone's being accused of rape, and their life is, in essence, over because of that. So one way or another, these two things are happening, and there was such a sense of calm to what she said because everyone was, and especially Whoopi. It was very. Have you ever been accused of something? I think Rosie asked her, and she said, "I have." Go ahead and try to Google it. She said most people will try to put it under the rug. Apparently, this Barbara Bowman, none of this, not just because of the 7 years statute of limitations, but because of the fact that it's already been closed.
Oh, there's the one that's the case that was sealed to both of their satisfaction. It said
and settled,
which means right, which is like one of the Michael Jackson allegations.
Right.
Was there was the one that he settled, and that just means, and that can mean
many things.
He did it, or it can mean there's just enough doubt that you're better off to just pay them off, and then you get the gag order. You relinquish all monies if you ever go to the press and talk about it. You relinquish all monies, which is good and bad. Because it makes you look a little more guilty.
Totally.
And it makes the other party look a little bit more like they were framing you. It's a hard thing. And there's another famous case we'll talk about another time where an allegation was made, and finally when it was in print, lawsuits were done, but then they settled out of court with the agreement that there was a gag order in place. And you're like, no, that's the wrong. To me, that's the wrong way to go. If you're in this, and I don't know if this is true. I've never been in this position to say, I want to keep fighting. But then someone might come to the thing and be like, this is how you'll always be remembered. You're going to go broke fighting this. Right. Just pay the money, shut them up, get the gag order. So you don't know which way to go.
Is it going? And that's what most people.
But
are
it managed to
stay.
It managed to stay under the radar. So maybe kudos to the lawyers if it did. But on the other hand, if we have a serial rapist on our hands, then what have we done?
Yep.
And he made a really unfunny 80s sitcom, so 2 crimes.
Hijinks. It was very funny.
I think it's interesting. To take out of some of this for tonight's shows. He didn't like, everybody loves Raymond, he didn't like The Cosby Show, and I enjoyed both of them thoroughly.
Everyone loves Raymond in syndication. I get some laughs out of it, but I never saw one episode that I thought, I'm going to set my DVR. That's what I mean between the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't, Cosby Show to me was...
Every week,
watch it. It was your deal.
Yeah.
Raymond is just, I enjoy it. I'll catch it again. I'm not going to set my VCR for it.
Right.
But I do enjoy the show.
But
and when I catch it, I watch the entire thing. If I catch it, I watch it.
I think Barbara Seville said the same thing about
Doris Roberts to me is just, I love Doris Roberts.
But she always won Jennifer Aniston's Emmy, so me no likey. But I love her. I just am always bitter about her Emmy wins.
I need
Suck
that down.
Your mouth could have done everything that paper towel was about to do.
You know what? It absolutely could have, except
and
I would have knocked every single thing over.
Thank you, Bill Cosby.
No. I would have knocked everything over.
Inappropriate, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Hijinks.
Hi, Cliff Huxtable.
It's just, it's an interesting thing. It's a beloved American icon. All of a sudden, you're taking like one of the founding fathers of
the first black father
of black comedy and the black family, and you're just casting this doubt on someone. So it's the OJ thing again. You're taking like an American hero and bringing him down, but it casts somebody in a terrible light. And there's when there's smoke, there's fire. If this many people come forward.
But I have a real issue sometimes with birds of a feather flock together and fire and.
But
where there's smoke, there's fire.
There's no connection between any of these women.
Again, I'm not sticking up for her. I'm playing devil's advocate on that. But the idea that just because I'm not a huge Rosie Perez fan on this show for sure, but she says something on the video about it seems like he is guilty until proven innocent.
Well, everybody is now.
Right.
And
that's the age we live in.
That's the media age.
I agree with
that.
But I think
true.
that it's very, very true where all of a sudden, instead of even giving someone an opportunity, Ray Rice doesn't deserve an opportunity if you go to sports. Adrian Peterson doesn't deserve an opportunity. It's there. You see it. There's no two ways about it.
Right.
But with this stuff, you don't.
But that's all crime. We've had to have faith in our justice system for hundreds of years now. Like, just because it's on video is not the only way to prove it's true. You have to trust in people investigating, getting evidence, like everyone doing the right thing to find out. And that's the OJ thing. Like, he went to trial, he faced the system, he was found not guilty. So whatever you think, He didn't pay his way out of that. He was found not guilty by a jury.
Right.
Now we're going to go through it in Ferguson. There's all different witnesses. There's people around.
When is that supposed to come back?
And it days ago.
Any second.
Oh,
yeah, I thought it was days ago, but
they're ready for war and they're delaying it, which is probably not a good news.
I don't think.
But here's the thing: we have to have faith in the justice system. If they acquit him, then they acquit him. I mean, what more can you do than have faith in what we have? So if one of these people wants
because I don't want to go to Iraq.
But if one of them comes forward with accusations,
what I mean? Like how they just kind of bang.
Yeah. If one of them comes forth with accusations and they take it to the trial phase and they can sit down and he can face a real jury of his peers, and then you have to go for it. But everybody now is tainted just by the accusation, and we did it with Penn State, where we went through that on the show with the people that went to Penn State were devotees of
Papa Joe.
It's true.
People being fans of whatever
Papa Joe Paterno.
Just sounds like a fucking and I can't get out of it because to me I didn't know the story, so to me he just sounded like a cult leader.
Incensed we were about all that.
I lived in Pennsylvania for a long time,
but to people that were from and to our friends that went there, they were like, "No, he's a good guy.
Was that
I knew
Matt?
him."
Matt,
Matt.
Matt Maraska, right?
It was Matt, and he was like, "You don't understand how heartbroken we are." I'm like, "He's a fucking And
you
now,
were incensed about that.
Sandusky faced a jury. He was convicted. The old guy died before he could do it. I mean, that really does come up. You have to trust it, and you have to trust it. And if the jury said he goes to jail, and everyone says the old man knew about it, guess what? The old man knew about it.
Right, totally.
Right. I mean, and this is the thing where you have to make sure you're not just carrying the torches to the village. But it would be better if it could go to a trial. If someone could bring something to a trial. But with rape, it's so underreported, and there's the dean of the university that's in all kinds of hot water now about women reporting rape when sex doesn't go their way.
Yeah.
Sex doesn't go their way, so they call it rape, and they're ruining a young man's life, and everyone's on this guy.
I lose my mind every time I hear a story like that.
Read the article.
I do too.
He has
there's
there's a nugget of a point in his story, but he's so off the.
There's a nugget of a point, but
but he's so missing the larger point of of the fact that someone whose life is ruined in a different way than the shame of having rapist next to their name. Right. They're just victim that now thinks of everyone as someone that's after them. And that's an interesting story of a guy who has a point to make. It's so stupid and so not the point, but he just pressed, and you could tell if you just hit this button harder about teach men to treat women correctly and hit this button of make sure you're being safe and in the right place at the right time, and maybe don't drink everything you can find at a party.
And clearly, we've been teaching girls to protect themselves for generations, and it's not working because we're not teaching the boys
not to rape.
That's exactly right. Yep.
So, and if you
and Dawn, I agree with you. If it, I know that I sound like I don't because I'm playing devil's advocate, but I understand that where there's smoke, there's fire, and and when you have that many people with no affiliation,
right.
that are coming forward. I remember when that happened in my life, and the person was a senior in high school, and he was a star wrestler, and he was the star wrestler, and so he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, that's why that's 7 years I'm familiar with, because it was little over 8 years later, I had gone back from here to visit, and I'm in this bar in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is not exactly where I grew up because I was in a little suburb. And all of a sudden, I hear and I go up to order some drinks with some friends, and I hear this person talking, and you kind of listen a little bit. You're like, "What? Huh?" And I hear Brian Garcia. Yeah, well, there are probably a million of them. He handcuffed her to the wheel of her car. Well, he didn't do that to me, but I didn't come forward. I mean, you have no idea. Seidel worked me through that shit like there was no tomorrow, because you look at it and he's a star athlete and you can't say anything, and you talk to the right people, and he could never have done that, and maybe you misunderstood what was happening.
Right, maybe you
See, and I did come forward.
And you allowed it, and you... No, but I don't feel like I did.
Right.
And he told me he loved me, so maybe...
It's the Spanish Inquisition of the girls that are like, hey, And
Yeah.
just by the time you're done with the Spanish Inquisition, you're like, yep, totally my fault.
Yeah,
it had to have
Totally
been.
did.
God,
I
I
did
fucked
it.
that whole thing up.
Yep.
And now there's those
I
football
should have
I had it
never
happen.
said hello.
There's those football players in Jersey, and I kind of lost track of the story that were hazing the freshmen, and they were basically sexually molesting and raping them. And the town came through, and they canceled the rest of the season. But it's a town that had a winning record for like decades. They had gone so many seasons undefeated. I can't remember what the name of the town is. And the parents were at the meeting, like crying, like, "You're killing our kids' future." No, they did that when they ass raped their teammates.
Right.
Like, they did this. Stop blaming the town. And the parents, and they have it on, you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch this meeting. And these parents are like crying.
Devastated,
How can you do this to the football team?
How could the football team do this to their teammates?
Yeah.
To a younger, brand new, trusting teammate?
To the 14-year-olds that were running out of the locker room because they didn't want to get ass raped. And you're reading the story over and over, and then you see the meeting, and you realize the place that these parents live are like, they live for football, and all of them think that the football team is their ticket out. So, maybe teach your kids not to ass rape their... Well, it's been going on for years. Then the coach has got to be in prison, too.
Right. Sure.
But when all the younger kids are, like, running out to the bus unshowered and won't take off their pants, and they have shame issues... I'm like, oh, okay, this is way too obvious.
Well,
and then they held a vigil. All the senior players and the parents had a vigil on the football field as they turned off the lights. It was right out of a movie. It seriously looked like a movie.
Yeah.
And
Friday Night Fright.
Yeah, they turned off the football lights, and they're all standing there crying, and then they all just walked away. Yes, because your children are fucking rapists.
Because we didn't teach them.
Torturers,
Because
we taught them that football was more important.
Right, and they're saying you're ruining my kids' future. No, you ruin their future. No matter what that could look like. And it's probably not a football scholarship. And it's probably not this. And it's probably not that. But now everything.
So now it might be part of
relationships,
something
jobs.
Boys growing up. As you rape someone, both of your lives are ruined. You're fucking with them, but your life is ending too when people find out.
Your life might be labeled, but her life is ruined.
Yeah,
totally.
You know, for as long as it takes.
Hers or his, depending on what the situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I figured we might get some. It's a very weird. It's a very weird story, but like I said, you have to have faith in the system.
You do.
And you knew in that New Jersey story when they called in the district attorney and started doing real investigations. We're not playing around. Like, this wasn't handled by the school board. This was handled by, like, we have criminal minds here.
This is like Law and Order.
Yeah, we got SVU is on the. And when I read that story, I'm like, the minute they got real,
it became real different.
We didn't handle this internally. All those parents should have been like, well, just. Here's my kid. He'll say who put the pencil where.
We're all let go of my hand.
Put it down. To bring it back full circle and kind of close it up, like even in the Bill Cosby scenario or the next, beloved celebrity that's accused, believe the girl until you have a reason not to.
Oh, I agree with
believe
that.
her until you have a reason
and especially
not to.
believe the child.
Yes.
When it comes down to it, like the
believe
Michael
the
Jackson
child,
thing.
Believe the girl.
I
believe the boy, whoever it is.
I believe he was mentally ill in a lot of different ways.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. But when that
I think
many
he loved the kids, but I don't know that happened. And again, that's just my
But
opinion.
believe them until you have a reason
and
not to.
you're tainted by he's a delightful entertainer. It can't be this. But then at the same time, you're like,
no, I think he was a sick fucking 40-year-old kid.
And now when What's-His-Face comes forward, the choreographer, who's just as famous now, the Emmy winner for So You Think You Can Dance, he did Ramalamba Bang Bang, I can't think of his name. When he comes forward and now he's got a following, he's known for all his good work. He's one of the little kids that used to follow Michael Jackson around.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's like, you know what? He's dead. I don't really want anything. I just have to tell you it was all true.
Right.
Then you're like, oh, that's ugly. That hurts. What are you doing on camera?
Yeah.
Tobacco chewer. Your oral hijinks. I don't care. Swallow them.
No way.
I'm just watching you throw up in a cup.
I'm being very nice. I'm being very nice about it.
So that's a fun topic, but I figured it was.
But I think it's really an interesting.
When I first read that Hannibal Buress, is that his name? When I first read about the comedian say that, I thought, oh, I don't want to tackle that yet. But when, now we're at 3 more people coming forward. I'm like, nobody begrudges Bill Cosby an NBC contract. Actually has to come. You're just telling the truth.
And it needs to be talked about until it
stops happening.
Needing to be talking about.
Absolutely.
I'm over the gays, but
no.
Yeah, not the women. Oh yeah,
no.
And I always say when I vote, women's issues always come always come first.
And I got
you're against gay marriage. Oh well, but if you know what I mean, if you don't believe in women's health rights, then you've got to go.
Please.
And evolution's a close second.
Yeah. If you've ever said the word rape in a campaign speech,
you're done.
Yeah, gotta go.
Yeah, you and I are both we're done together.
Do you also you didn't like damn it. I want to say Scott Walker. That's not who it is. The rapist.
Scott Brown.
Nope.
Oh no, our almost rapist, vice rapist in chief.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Paul Ryan.
When that came up, I mean, this one you've got to be kidding. And
because he co-wrote that law,
right? But the unintentional rape.
Yeah, that's from Missouri. Claire McGill. I can't think of
fucking douchebag.
Yeah, but I can't think of his name. But he didn't. He wrote that law with Paul Ryan. That wasn't his own. And then Paul Ryan's like, I don't know who would say that.
No,
you signed your fucking name, you dimwit.
But when I know that there were a lot of people, because law was a focal point of mine, and so when the OJ thing came down and they said he's not guilty, there are a lot of people that were real mad, mainly women, that I was like, good, as it should be.
Right.
Solely based on the case, solely based on what was presented and how it was presented in very black and white, no pun intended, but the idea of
right, but then you learn.
Up.
Now you learn about. Now we've learned, especially from Gauntlet, and you see it parodied in Gone Girl. Now, what you hear on court TV isn't what they heard in court.
No, I watched the entire every day.
Right, so there was a lot of doubt. Like
a
there
lot of doubt.
There was a lot of doubt. I see what you're saying.
The trust in the system, the sit there, the listen. We were hearing on the outside so much more.
Oh yeah, of every case now.
Mm-hmm. But listening to every single thing that was happening in there, and going.
That's
Chris Darden, you done fucked up. Put those gloves down. Put the glove. Okay.
And that's the genius that is Gone Girl when it takes the Nancy Grace character and just skewers her, and you're just left with that constant thing of like, well, I've heard him and his sister are really close. There might be incest.
There might.
And you're just like, oh my God, that is something Nancy Grace would just jump to, and you're like,
sure would.
And then it's brilliant. Gone Girl. Anyways, I'll get it back to a movie. I'll get it back to entertainment. Gone Girl, go see it.
Is that it?
Well,
as we
much to your delight, yes.
As we wrap up our section called "There's Not Always Room for Jell-O," let's continue on with Kat Carlson.
I want a pudding pop.
Oh my God! Tonight is.
Oh, I have to say two things. I'm just gonna start.
Go.
I hate Jell-O, and I didn't like the Cosby Show, so really, I'm out.
How do you feel about
like Jell-O
Jell-O pudding?
Pudding's kind of gross, but it's not as bad as Jell-O.
Chocolate Jell-O pudding?
Yeah, pudding's just gross.
Fuck it.
I love it.
I've blown my whole intro, so we're just going to go into some stories right now.
Other stuff.
At least something got blown in this goddamn show. Jesus Christ.
Hey, if you want to suck my dick, I'm not going to stop you.
Oh, Dawn.
Can I go?
I'm
please
suffering through confetti cupcake Pop-Tarts, so shut up.
Are they better warm?
Nothing's worth that.
I told you that they had to be good warm.
They had to be good somehow.
Good Lord. So I was reminded at the beginning of the show, so we've got a thrilling update on the lava flow.
Oh.
Really? It's still flowing.
Well.
Big volcano keep on rolling.
Sounds like me in the 80s.
It goes creeping along.
Lava breakouts near the Pu'u'o'o.
Pu'u'o'o.
Hijinks!
Yeah, those are Hawaiian hijinks.
Not the Pu'u'o'o.
I love the Hawaiian hijinks because
Stop calling me names.
The thing you have to know about reading anything Hawaiian is say every vowel.
Letter, yeah. Oh.
Every vowel, yeah.
And you crash your car trying to make a right-hand turn because you're like, I'm still reading that sign.
The Pu'u'o'o.
So lava breakouts near the crater appear to be diverting lava from the flow front near Pahoa. In an update,
thank you.
My apologies to Pahoa.
In an update posted after flying over the lava flow on Monday, scientists noted a marked decrease in lava activity near the homesteads and the street that it was about to burn down. You remember last week it was burning a house down.
It consumed a home.
Right.
It took a shit.
Mm-hmm.
If
only those people with the rocket launchers were there with the porta.
They could do nothing about it.
We can only save your toilet, ma'am. The rest of your house is a total
Hey,
loss.
everybody, get on!
Only your throne can be saved.
We're going to launch the shitter into space, but the rest of your house is fucked.
The thorn thruster, the thruster.
It's toast and not in the Pop-Tarts kind of way, people.
Oh, you have no way to make it lighter or darker.
After flying over the area on Tuesday, Hawaii County Civil Defense said the nearest surface flow to the town was 5 miles upslope.
Upslope.
Upslope. Yeah. The breakouts are now inactive. Other breakouts are active about 5 to 6 miles northeast of the crater, near an area about halfway down the 13-mile lava flow where lava enters an underground crack system and takes it further down slope.
Leave the crack system out.
Now, do you need brass, what are they called?
Brass Brillo.
Brass Brillo? No, that's
No.
it's so close.
Do you need
Brass
a brassiere
wool.
and a
Brass
bite?
wool. So close.
Oh, yeah.
For all your paraphernalia needs.
Go to Hawaii. There's a crack flow.
And Pu'o.
The front...
Hijinks.
I love my segment. The front of the flow has not advanced since October 30th
Heavy flow day.
and is about 170
That's a super
yards
plus, sir.
from the village. Although no activity was observed downslope of the crack system, numerous surface breakouts and flows were noted in the areas from the vent to the crack system, indicating lava remains in the system. So nothing further damaged.
Poor Hawaii.
Nothing's
cracked?
happening.
Hawaii.
Nothing
The front
cracked?
of the flow
Oh.
not moving.
Oh. Well, once you take the crack, you just
Then
kind of...
that's blockage.
Once you.
It's all backwards from there.
Stop.
Moving this shit show right along.
At a glacial pace.
At a glacial pace, I've got a feel-good story about a mediocre college basketball player.
The rest of the show is a mediocre story about a podcast.
One-handed basketball player Zach Hodgkins
One what?
One-handed. Did you date him?
Nope.
Was he black?
makes his debut for Florida.
It's basketball. Of course he's black.
That's right.
Oh, look at...
Hijinks, and we've now lost Florida.
The-
We can't lose Florida.
I think we lost Florida day one. First news story.
No, I think they're too fucking dumb.
They're on the list.
They're on the
They're
list.
like, yeah, we're here. Okay.
The number 7 Florida Gators opened the season with a comfortable 68-45 win over William and Mary on Friday night, which featured the debut of walk-on Zach Hodgkins. Hodgkins was born without the lower part of his left arm, but that didn't stop him from becoming a sharpshooter from behind the arc in high school.
Dramatic reenactment.
Hodgkins played 2 minutes and attempted 1 shot, but he's still looking for his first career points.
Oh.
Hodgkins said...
Horseman, dramatic reenactment.
Hodgkins
That's
said
all.
after the game that he was nervous, but that he fulfilled a dream on Friday. It's kind of like the first time I did public speaking. I was really nervous. Then after I did it, I was fine. I think that I'm going to be fine if I get in again.
Oh, good.
Good for him.
That wasn't a backhanded comment by any means, was it?
No. Well, he only has the front one.
Only
Yeah.
the one. All right, I just want to check.
Just a flipper
Amputees
short
have
of a
been
hat.
Just the
added
one,
to the
sir.
list.
Just the one.
It wasn't an amputee. He was born without
That's
it.
true.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, when you started the story with
Defect.
Florida Gators, I thought that was how he lost his hand.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
and then when you said that he was born without it,
May I suggest to the young gentleman, volleyball. All you need is a stump to hit the motherfucker.
tetherball also is one.
It's true.
Did you hear this
Fucking
dumbass?
tetherball.
Did you?
I knew you'd love that.
Did you hear this dumbass? All you need is a stump. Why isn't he playing volleyball?
You can
You just
spike.
gotta spike.
Oh,
you
you
can
can be-
spike it. You can serve it.
Because I think it's a little short.
I mean, he is made for volleyball. I think.
Well, as long as he can serve with whatever, the hand he has, and then he can just block.
Well, you can serve with anything. You put the tray on the stump, and you serve with the other hand.
That's how you did it for 10 years.
Got a career.
There's a picture of a taco. What is that?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Continuing on the 3rd hour shit show, the Unicode Consortium, the group in charge of the
Is that
way...
a Bond villain?
Of course,
It is a
aren't you?
Bond villain, and they're in charge of the way
call me name.
emoji work.
Oh.
Oh.
They announced
Hi,
last
Jake.
week that it has accepted 37 new emoji characters as candidates for next year's update. Included in their post was this mock-up of a taco emoji.
Please hold up your laptop and show the mock-up taco.
Illustrate the taco.
Look at that. Looks like a taco.
Yep.
Looking like taco.
Alleged taco.
Coming
Taco
soon.
says happy to me. I don't need any faces on it.
Coming soon, you'll be able to text that particular little taco emoji to your friends.
Happen.
So
Let it go.
On Brooklyn-
most of them are called Little Taco for Clayton.
A few more
No,
highlights.
I was thinking how popular it's going to be at the cash.
Fuck those bitches.
only if they're a little pink.
I didn't. Oh,
I don't. Whoa. Not. Yep.
Yeah.
I should have said
The taco jokes.
I'll retract
Are you
that.
kidding?
Lesbian establishment.
A
I'm sorry.
lesbian establishment.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean pink. I meant engorged.
Wah, wah.
The engorged taco.
The
I have
full
some of
list
your
of
taco,
37
please?
types of proposed emoji.
Oh.
They're
Is that
currently
what they're
assessing
calling
them.
it these days?
But here are a few highlights. You may be getting a thinking face, a face with rolling eyes, an upside down face, a face with a head bandage, a robot face, a synagogue, a menorah with 9 branches, a place of worship,
Not from
Buddha.
that one guy.
Buddha,
Buddha,
Hot-
Buddha, 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 Buddha,
Buddha,
Buddha, Buddha.
a hot dog, a taco, a burrito, a bottle with a popping
hot dog and a
cork,
taco.
And a black kid.
and perhaps interracial emoji.
oh.
Interracial.
That would just be a period.
So,
Black kid.
no, but that sounds... Interracial emoji sounds like lowered expectations. Interracial emoji.
Well, there's no concrete timetable for all the new emojis.
As long as
but
you don't follow up on that, we're fine.
Please. Please.
But coming to a text near you could be a taco
Butt coming.
So
emoji.
on Brooklyn Nine-Nine this week,
Uh-huh.
Andre Brower plays the emotionless captain, and he's getting a text from Adam Sandberg. And he says to Terry, he says, his thing says everything is fine here. Box with a question mark, 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 and then a box with a question mark, box with a question mark, box with a question mark, and a further box with a question mark, box with a question mark. What do you think that means? And Terry just goes, that you don't get emojis on your phone. It was so dry and so perfect.
That's fun.
That's great.
There's a firmware update you could do. No.
That joke, and he's on a flip phone. That joke
Yeah,
just
that's
sold.
the problem.
Fun.
That joke just sold.
Well, in my next to last story, in the last sports-related story, Lance Armstrong has dropped out of a beer mile.
What's that mean?
Now, well, stand by. I'll tell you the whole story.
I'm trying to string this along.
When queuing
Are you saying I'm doing this too soon?
No, it's just
very
if I don't
funny.
occasionally say something, people think I've died. I'm not part of the show.
Legit. Okay, I'll
true.
allow it.
Too legit to quit.
Well, for listeners who are wondering, a beer mile is a running competition in which competitors at the beginning of the first mile drink a beer of up to 12 ounces, or of at least 12 ounces.
At least.
Run a fucking mile, stop, drink another beer,
Fuck that.
and repeat this 4 times. It's a thing.
I've never heard of
Doesn't
this.
he have prostate cancer?
Not anymore.
No,
He did.
And he's going to get it
but
again
then he,
because of all
but then
the
he
drugs.
juiced.
Yeah, juiced.
Don't you want to
Okay.
piss about every mile?
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking.
So sports fans may note that on December 3rd
Seems
in Austin,
uncomfortable.
Texas, the beer mile is happening.
Oh.
Now the beer mile is big shit. You have to apply.
Oh.
You have to qualify.
Oh.
Wow. Dude,
I don't know.
by drinking the
by
beer or
drinking
running the
or
mile?
what?
Which is more important?
Both
Oh.
No. There can't be a 50-50.
combined in
It's
a race.
It's a biathlon.
I spent all afternoon
It's a beer athlon.
Trying to figure out how to get to Austin.
Yeah.
mapping my way to Austin.
Yeah. Can you
No,
Uber
Wait a
drive
minute,
all
wait
the
a
way to
minute.
Austin?
Time out.
How to
She
qualify?
has a car. She has a van.
Oh, no, I
I
know.
have a
she is.
van, but I've been kicked off the San Diego trip because I don't know because you might have to go to a lesbian bar.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You can go. I don't have to go. I know other places.
How to qualify for the beer mile?
Okay. Can maybe any of us can be part of this?
Perhaps.
I'm going to write this down.
A competitor
Take a
must
note.
submit a video that demonstrates the participant completing a timed beer mile while following the official beer mile World Championship rules.
World Championship.
No funny business. We will catch
Oh,
you.
no. We'll have none of that.
No.
Interested listeners might note that video submissions must be received by November 20th, 2014 to be considered. So there's still time, kids. There's
Oh.
still...
Ooh,
Okay.
and
A little
according
bit
to
of
Kat,
time.
we have interested listeners.
Even uninterested listeners will want to know. That's what I got out of that.
Well,
Yeah. Official rules. Each competitor drinks 4 cans or bottles of beer
okay,
and runs
okay.
4 laps on a track. You start, you drink a beer, you run a lap. You drink a beer, you run a lap. You drink a beer, you run a lap.
Oh, so this is in a circle.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were doing
Like NASCAR. Just keep turning left.
Right,
Well,
right,
because
right.
there's-
No,
that'll
There's
make you
no
dizzy
real,
like
there's
back
a real worry
races.
you won't make it back. So we have to keep it
I get
Are
it.
you worried that
It
it was
would
like
be
a
like-
I
cross
thought this
country?
was going to be like from McDowell to Indian school. Like
would
you were
be
going
like bat
that would be even
races.
more fun.
That would be a lot
Yes.
of fun, but then how the fuck do you get
that'd
back?
be your bar crawl.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Beer must be consumed before the lap has begun within the transition area. The race begins with the drinking of the first beer in the last meter of the transition zone. Competitors must drink cans or bottles of beer, and the contents will be no less than 12 ounces. No specialized cans or bottles may be used to give an advantage by allowing the beer to pour at a faster rate.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good
So
one.
you can't have a carb on the side? Laura will appreciate that.
Wait for it. Beer cans must not be tampered with in any manner. Molly Montgomery, you may not shotgun your beer to run this race.
Totally. That's what I was picturing.
That's exactly what you're thinking. Yeah, because PBR and a shotgun can. That's her jam.
Molly, I don't want to believe that
Molly,
about you.
you in danger, girl.
Molly, you in danger, girl. When they say Molly and PBR, I'm scared.
You have to witness it because it's the most hilarious fucking thing you've ever seen.
And she can do it?
In fact, one of the last times I worked together with her at the cache, she did. Allegedly.
I think she'd be brilliant.
John says that's her normal way to train on a treadmill. All right. Kelly is there. Kelly's there to be a correspondent, and Dawn is there as a contestant.
What?
We've got a team in place. Team in place.
Finishing up the rules, beer must be a minimum of 5% alcohol by volume. The beer must be a fermented alcoholic beverage brewed from malt and flavored with hops.
Okay.
Each beer can must not be opened until the competitor enters the transition zone on each lap.
Well, I think they're grateful for that part.
And competitors who vomit before they finish the race must complete one penalty lap at the end of the race.
That's brutal. Now,
Right.
now let's go back to the beginning of those other rules.
Molly says, you don't know me.
Question about the rules.
Yes.
Now, you have to consume it. What's the time frame to consume this untaintainted, unmodified, perfectly beer can bottle?
Well, fastest you got to win the race. It's a race.
It's
No. But when
there's
you
no time limit. The faster you can
Now,
get
I
that
have a
fucker down, the
question.
faster you can
I
start
thought
running.
there was a time limit on because you said in the final meter of the or something.
Okay, so you're on a track,
Right.
and there's the.
But you start with the beer.
Right. So
Hopefully.
you start with a beer. So
Okay.
they've got the marked zone 1 meter before the official start line. There's your transition zone.
Okay.
Okay. So you stand in the little box.
Okay.
You drink your beer. You cross the start line, and you go around, and then you come back into the little box that last meter, and you drink your next beer before your next lap starts.
I'm envisioning them handing you the bottle as you're wrapping up that last
You know,
meter.
I didn't read deeply
Like, is
enough.
it a pit stop? Can you stop and
Right.
Like,
relax?
do they hand it as you run? Like, when they give water for
Do you
marathon runners?
sit down and stick your hands down your pants and thoroughly enjoy the beer?
You
I
may
have a
not
question.
begin the next lap until your beer has been finished.
Okay, got it.
Can you pee as you're going?
I would
course.
assume so. Just
No,
as
no,
you're running,
I don't
yes.
mean to stop in a
No.
stall that's going to blow up and go.
I meant piss
We're
yourself.
Keep
I meant
running.
it's a slippery, salty track.
We're all on board with that, yeah.
I agree.
We didn't even hesitate on that one.
No.
You
I just needed to make sense.
Yes.
You just
do
entered
that.
a beer-a-thon. I think pissing yourself is encouraged.
I'm sure it
Vomiting
is.
is not.
In fact, there's probably
I
bonus
mean,
points.
if vomiting is written in the rules,
And if your competitor slips on your urine, bonus
Oops.
points, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if you get penalized,
Competitive
if you
advantage.
get penalized a lap by
Let's say
barfing,
penalized. It's more fun.
penalized by barfing,
sure.
I think you should actually get your time shaved off your thing if you pissed yourself. Because everybody's going to be just
That's
like,
what-
oh my
that's
god.
what
Yeah,
I just
but
said.
do you know who's going to be at the end of this race?
A bunch of people in diapers?
No, to
Smell
disqualify
bad.
Armstrong, fucking Floyd Landis. You know that bastard's going to be sitting there going,
who?
"You did not."
You did something.
He's the one that.
Blew him in the first time. What? It looks like you're. Do not ever do this in front of me again. What are
I don't
you
like it
doing?
either.
It's revolting.
She's got a problem.
Give me.
So,
this is how you eat a
Back
fucking
to the Lance
sunflower
Armstrong
Yes.
portion of the story.
He couldn't even get this right.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. With the Beer Mile World Championships
It's a-
rapidly approaching on December 3rd, interest in the event is peaking. Lance Armstrong, who probably doesn't have a lot to do these days,
He's only got
decided,
one ball involved.
decided to give it a try, and
See? No
surprisingly,
spitting. Gone.
Ew, I'm not chewing on those.
surprisingly, one of the world's greatest athletes can't drink and run for shit.
It'd be better if it was drink and run or shit.
Pick one.
I'm feeling like that would be a disqualification.
But fun to watch.
Armstrong attempted the 4-lap 4-beer event on Sunday, November 9th in Austin. And Armstrong only got one Budweiser down and one lap before dropping out.
Oh, because there wasn't any drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He needed a blood transfusion halfway through.
it's true.
Armstrong wrote in 2013, "There comes a point in every man's life where he has to say enough is enough." And was likely to have said to himself last Sunday, "For me, that time is now."
Huh.
Yeah. Beer miles, while adhering to a strict set of rules, are not subject to WDA decree, so Armstrong could still technically race on December 3rd.
There's a decree. Holy shit.
I know, it's a racing thing. If you drop out, you can't go back in. You can't go in and out.
No hijinks here. We have a decree.
No hijinks.
We have got a decree.
Wasn't that like a thing back with Moses decrees?
What the fuck?
Yeah, kind of. I know you're almost there.
No, but I mean, it was like that's the only time I've heard that word before.
Decrees, yeah.
A decree?
He just
All
said,
right.
"Let my people go."
My people.
Oh, I see.
Go.
He was upset that
I'm sorry, I'm an
they didn't
atheist,
create
I
a
don't
new
understand.
foundation called Drink Strong,
Drink strong.
Drink strong.
Run
Oh.
Strong.
Yes, please.
Pee strong.
I am already
He
your
doesn't
spokesmodel for Drink Strong.
Last week you were an overachiever.
My final article is strangely alcohol related as
Oh
well.
my God, this is I'm feeling
weird.
a theme
I was
here.
sweating. I
feeling my
was sweating. I was sweating it out.
Pattern.
Are you sweating it out? That'll be tomorrow. What do you suppose
Drop the bike, Al. Just drop the bike.
has been ranked America's booziest state?
Oh,
I feel like it's in the South.
Oregon.
Thrillist.com did extensive research.
I want to say Tennessee. I'm gonna say
Oregon.
Tennessee.
Montana.
Tennessee, Oregon, Montana. Pick one.
Oregon.
Kentucky. Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Pick Kentucky.
you're thinking the South for some reason. I don't know why you're thinking the South.
North Dakota.
Boo-
I've been there.
booziest state.
Booziest state. Not bougiest.
No, not bougie.
Oh,
Different. Still fun, but
I'm
different.
torn between Tennessee and Kentucky.
All right.
Booziest or beeriest? Does it matter? Does
Can
it
I
all
go
go together?
I'm
Booziest.
going to stick with the Southern theme, even though I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Louisiana.
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 All right, hang on, wait.
Bayou.
Clayton, Louisiana.
You have to write this down. We know.
Well, if it's about
can't remember this
cocktails,
shit.
if it's about cocktails, that changes my answer.
Kentucky.
I want to say California, but
That's because there's a lot of people there. They can drink a lot of booze.
That's true.
No, the
She said
housewives,
Missouri.
I did not.
Or what'd you say?
I said Oregon or Montana, and then I
Same-
went back to
I
Oregon.
don't know.
sounds just
Are
like
you-
Missouri.
You're in Oregon?
I don't listen to her. She said a word. I picked another word to replace it.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at 50 and I'm going to scroll till I see a familiar one. Here we go. Tennessee stands at 45.
Oh,
Shut the fuck up.
Florida, 41.
Floridia. I like
Floridia.
That's my favorite way to say it.
I like that.
Kentucky, 37.
I am disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Louisiana, 31.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
it. Fucking Florida. I'm with you.
Oregon is winning so far.
Let's see. California. Minnesota, for those interested, falls at 30.
There's no one.
Not even the Minnesotans.
I'd have moved that up. It's going to be Oregon or North Dakota.
Arizona, 27, with their standout statistic being one brewery per 100,000 residents.
At least we're not last in
Lots
the
of beer
goddamn.
here in Arizona.
Oh,
Sorry.
a brewer. Now, if we're going by.
No.
Oh,
It's just booziest. It's
but
just
I
an
still would've
incidental
gone-
fact.
I still wouldn't have changed my answer.
Right, because California is number 25 with their standout statistic being 3,674 wineries and vineyards and counting.
And counting.
And counting. Let's see, I think we've covered everyone else's answer, so we go all the way to number one, which is ding ding ding.
What are the top three?
Oregon!
Wait. Oh!
Number one.
How
Come
the
on.
fuck? Based on what?
6.3 craft breweries per
Kyle.
100,000 people.
Oh.
Now, it should be noted
Craft
that
brewery means grandma's got a distillery. I guess that
No,
counts.
that's Tennessee.
it should be
still.
noted that the entire editorial
Oh, yes.
staff at Thrillist.com
It's wasted.
is wasted and actively rooting against Oregon in its ranking. It leads any booze-related national conversation with the strength of its unassailably dense beer scene. Many
why?
breweries
You know what I
and
didn't
distilleries
factor in? Oregon, full of lesbians.
full of lesbians,
Ew.
drinkers,
Chock full.
chock full.
Well,
Truck,
beer.
Lesbian
that's
hijinks.
not why I said-
Lesbian hijinks
who's
slash
the worst
bed death.
lesbian you've ever met?
Yeah.
it's only a 3-hour show.
Oregon is ranked third in volume of wineries, fifth in distilleries, and 13th in bars per capita.
Well, God bless them.
I don't know.
It's chilly there.
Booziest
Fucking
state.
lonely people.
All right, now, Laura said to rule out legal pot states, but Oregon
is.
But you got to remember, Oregon voted wrong the first time. Oregon was the big surprise that they said no to pot in
that's right, they
2012, and
did.
then they said, "What the fuck were we thinking in 2014?"
Curiosity about that with
Well, you smoke it out
Colorado.
of a cigarette or a pipe
Shut
or a bong. Any other questions? Could be
Yeah.
a cookie. No, not so much.
Colorado.
Yep.
They were talking about how pot sales have gone down. Is that interesting or not?
Because they're all wasted.
I think
Yeah.
I think the thrill is gone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
That's the whole you binge the whole time you're 21, and then you're
Yep.
like, what?
Totally what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Settle the fuck down.
Yeah. Chill it out.
Listen,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
if I eat
but
one more Twinkie,
can't. Yeah. Can't.
It's the day that you realize, you know what I realized yesterday? Confetti cupcake Pop-Tarts suck. Maybe
Less heated.
The girl at the
Mostly-
Taco Bell drive-thru knows my car.
Exactly. Oh,
And
it's
my
you.
order.
It's ready. There's not even, that's
The
okay.
usual.
Hey, Dad, how's
Yeah.
it going? Number 3
Don,
soft?
I don't know how I feel about that chocolate
Number 3.
lesbians. Oh, no.
Number 3 soft. Oh. I have been to Oregon, and they lived up to
I've not.
Seriously, I was there for 7 days. They lived up to every single stereotype I had them pegged for.
Birkenstocks and socks?
Somebody ran off the plane to go sit in front of the airport and play the bongos for cash.
Say it. Just swear. Come
Every
on.
word of that sentence is true. Like, pushed and shoved with the bongo. They got out of the overhead bin, ran downstairs, and we got our luggage, sitting outside playing the bongos for cash. Same girl. The light smell of patchouli everywhere.
Of course. That's not okay. That part.
Dunkin' Donuts at 1 a.m.
Right. Okay.
Everyone's heard the Dunkin' Donuts at 1 a.m. story.
Yeah.
I mean, they came true.
I'm not going. Aaron wants to move
I
there.
loved it. I thought it was lovely.
That's a
It's
shame.
lovely. It's lovely.
Clayton
highest,
McKee, how you doing over there?
highest
I'm good.
percentage of serial killers.
If you
okay?
if you want to move there, go right ahead. We're not moving the show.
No.
All right, fair.
Just let me say.
No. And that's why I told Aaron I
And if
can't
you call
go.
me in Oregon, I'll just be giggling.
Me too. I'll be sitting in the same chair for like 6 hours.
I know.
just
When they were like,
laughing
it's
my
not
ass off.
legal here, I'm like, we got to tell the people at Dunkin' Donuts at 1 a.m. that wasn't legal because they didn't care. They seem pretty on board.
For those of you that were with us in the beginning of this show a couple years ago, what was the name of our first show?
Who is Ray J?
Who the hell
hell
is
is
Ray
Ray
J?
J? Uh-huh.
This just in.
Oh, Ray J's dead?
No. Ray J.
You have your finger on the pulse of him?
Every 3 months, Ray J gets $90,000 residual check from the sex tape with Kim K. Just letting you know that. Let's continue on. And this segment we like to call Thoughtful Vulgarity.
Who's paying for that?
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Oh. Because I'm like,
I was
and then he
vaguely
goes,
pointing
well,
at his
no,
drink
and then he
trying
goes,
to
and
move him on.
that's not working. So I'm like, well, everything's fucking broken over there. Why don't you fix it?
I was trying to tell Shelby to drink her juice.
What, Shelby?
Totally.
Shelby.
Come on, Milan.
All right, here's a tough one for alcohol. What, besides lesbians spitting into cups like truckers, what stereotype are you always shocked to find out is true?
Oh my god.
Take a big hit of something. Like, what's the stereotype that you're always like, oh, yeah, that's kind of true?
The fall in love in 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. The lesbians with the U-Haul joke?
Yep. Because I played that joke a multiple amount of times, and I've been the butt of that joke, and I've been the front. I've been all that joke. Mm-hmm.
Been on the front of that joke.
I've been
on the back
all
of that
it.
joke.
I've driven that joke.
I helped 3 friends tell that joke.
Oh, we
Totally.
just met each other Tuesday at the...
But I'm in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
no.
Crystal Light and Petra Cat
Jeez.
Healing Therapy Center.
With patchouli.
The Dreamy Draw Cat Hospital.
Yeah.
Some
That-
are happy,
you know, I
some
gotta
are
tell you,
sad.
Some made it, some not so much.
Don't.
That fall in love in 30 seconds and that fucking Coors Light shit. I gotta tell you, those are the two.
So the lesbians are keeping Coors Light
Oh,
alive.
fuck. Well, at least they used to. Ish. Anyway, digress. But yeah, that would be my thing.
Last I knew, yeah, it was back. It was a thing again.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Terrifying.
Last I knew.
U-Hauls or Coors Light?
Both.
Yes.
Sir or
All right,
ma'am.
you can't use her answer. So you need
I
your
may
own.
or may not have been out of that scene for a little while. So, all right, I can't use her answer.
Spot on.
But the thing is, I'm not surprised that that stereotype is true.
Yeah.
So the stereotype that I'm surprised is true.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm surprised by it because I played into it.
All right.
That's what. It's not that I'm surprised that it's true. It's that I played into it so many fucking times. Like,
How
really?
often, Laura, are you in the straitjacket? That would be my other follow-up question, Laura, with that comment.
Yeah, she says Italians talk with their hands. As I find myself silent when in my straitjacket.
That's funny. I'm sure Steve puts her in one often.
That's funny.
Not sexually, just in general. Go on. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. You're allowing me some time to compose this thought because
Absolutely.
I have two thoughts and I need to make them one.
Chili cook-off. I wasn't. Whatever you do. It doesn't matter. It's fucking
matter.
And there wasn't one in 04 either.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. It's 03.
No, it really, they stopped like in 95.
I swear to you, on my father's grave, I have pictures of it.
Oh, I need to see this.
With
a
Braun,
calendar. Like a hostage holding up a newspaper with the
Proving
correct
the date line.
With Braun and Hamburger Mary's and the whole 9 yards and Velasco. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm right.
All right. My official answer.
Yep.
Final answer. Astrology.
Oh.
Astrology. Yeah. Because the fact that I don't get along so well with Scorpios and
That's not a stereotype.
What? Of course it's a stereotype. Why is it not a stereotype?
It's gonna be kind of offensive. I'm not.
All right. My second answer would be straight girl hitters.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what straight girl
Do
hitters are?
they have baseball bats,
I don't
or what are
either.
they using?
You're one.
What's that mean?
That means you hit him every time you get excited about something.
I'm excited to be part of a new stereotype.
Look at Judy sing it! Beating it!
Oh, that's
Beat the
Isn't that
shit.
fantastic?
That's very funny.
My shoulder
tried.
hurt so much from him beating the hell out of me.
No,
It was a
and I have a friend that
slap.
has that same
Calm
problem
down.
too. And it was a slap, and then it becomes a handprint, and then it becomes a bruise.
And then it's something
The
we just don't.
struggle is real.
We just don't talk about it at dinner.
Don, the original
Awesome.
question was what stereotypes are you always shocked to find out are actually true?
There it is. Final
There you
answers.
have it.
Mr. McKee.
I've been rattling this around in my noggin since he asked it, which is just apparently minutes ago.
Moments
ago.
Look, and this one's having a stroke to prove it into a cup.
It's softball.
I don't know. There probably are more of them. I just can't. We'll have to talk about it more for you to unearth them. But one of the things that comes to mind today, and I guess because it just bothered me so, I have a relative on Facebook who I haven't seen since he was, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years old, like a little kid. I've been away from him for so many, many, many years. But we are family friends on Facebook, and we chat here and there about different things. But his whole focus for the past several weeks, because it's deer season in Missouri, his whole focus every morning and every night, he's been wherever the fuck, in a stand in a tree waiting for the right deer to come by. And it's just driven me nuts. And tonight he got one. And I'm just like, you live for that? Why? Why do you live for killing that? I don't get it.
Now, tie it up, make it offensive. Offend someone. Lose a listener. Let's lose a listener. Let's work hard.
I need more people on my list.
Well, I think we might lose a family member here because I'm sure he doesn't listen.
Is he a listener?
But I don't. No, fuck no. I'm sure he's not. I mean,
It'll be like
We're
I'm
under
sure-
gun season.
Not anymore.
I'm sure he toes
It'll
the
be
line
like
of
your
Republican. I'm sure he toes the line of Republican and conservative from the Midwest, and I'm sure he toes that line with regards to that. I just don't get how that. It's because it's never been interesting to me, and of any interest at all. Why would you dress up in winter clothing where you're like this?
And those socks.
And those socks, and you go sit in a tree with deer urine on you and wait for something
May I just-
run by and shoot it.
Do you think he may
that-
wonder those same things when he sees those pictures of you in drag or heels?
This is my answer, Marnie. I don't need you to fucking chime in on this, okay?
Wow. Somebody's got a psychotherapist license.
I mean, he posts these things like, my God, that's an elusive deer running through the forest.
And he's like, wow, that's an elusive Hispanic American running through the forest.
I mean, it's not
Oddly, same forest.
Shame, Sean.
I mean,
One's in a black t-shirt, one's in camo.
Sucks.
I got the better deal.
Neither of you caught anything. So not so much.
Hijinks.
Still sleeping single in a double bed, so nope.
That's good.
Maggie and Marty count.
That's
He's
rich.
having canned tuna for dinner.
I'm
You're
sorry,
sleeping
they
single in
don't
a
count.
sleeping double in a single bed. Sleeping summoning.
Single in a
Soda,
double bed.
Would you like to pick a word and just use
Nope.
it? Okay.
Turns out it's time for bed.
All the consonants.
All at once.
Nope, I bought all my vowels earlier. I do not have $250 for a vowel. I don't have it.
Who said anything about a horse?
I am not giving you $250, you plucked back plastic surgery Republican freak and that mannequin turning the letters. Now I'm just going off on Pat Sajak.
I guess you are.
I know. But it's your segment.
It is?
What are you taking pictures of?
Look at this passive aggressive
Whatever I
cunt.
want.
Your computer already has a screen. Why would you take a picture?
Nothing.
It's called a screenshot.
Oh, she's looking at Asia someone or other. Asia Camarera.
Carrera.
Are you?
No.
I was really just going to photobomb. I wasn't trying
That'd
to
be awesome.
No, I was just going to.
That is so...
Careful where you put your fingers.
So are you done?
I'm guessing. I can't. If you stir up something else that maybe I can chime in on, but that's not right now. I'm not.
All right, just get your pen ready. I'm just going to say minorities watching movies, and it turns out there's really...
Write down everybody on the list. Just everybody.
Just go to Arizona Mills 24 and watch a horror movie and find out how many times you have to change seats because everyone in the theater is talking.
Because somebody went, girl, don't go that way.
And then they're like, I would never do that. I would never do that. I know all the things you won't do. Let's let her try something now.
Let's just sit here and see what she'll do.
Oh, you know what? I heard she was a bitch. I was watching TMZ. I'm like, seriously? Full
It's
on,
the middle of the movie.
Full on conversations. And I'm like, this is why we make fun of you.
Because you're doing exactly
right?
what we say.
Right. I can go.
Oh, cranky gay men stereotype. That's me. Screams a little. And slaps. But and that was the funny thing to find out when I went to my first gay bar as a teenager, was finding out as I met people and I was talking to them, and they would tell me like what music they liked, or like, oh, that's so gay. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I just had HBO. Like I didn't know I was being indoctrinated.
Oh, you had no idea you were living the stereotype?
Like I was like, I found Liza Minnelli on Liza with the Z on not Liza with the Z. I saw Liza in London on HBO. I saw Bette Midler in concert on HBO. I saw every Barbra Streisand movie on HBO. So I'm like, I like all these things because of HBO. Like no one told me I was following the gay menu down to the dessert
checklist. Yeah,
down to sucking a dick on the dessert menu.
Stereotypically, I worked for a construction company. I drove a pickup truck. I
worked
a lot
at
of ball
UPS.
caps.
Yeah.
I bought a Subaru.
I joined the drama club. You know what I mean? Like no one told me this. My dad said you should join the drama club. He didn't tell me because you're a big fat queer.
Or dramatic.
Well,
he may have alluded.
He
to
may
that.
have said that a couple times.
Ruth, why is he so dramatic?
Because he's gay.
Leave him in the basement, honey. Leave him in the
With
basement.
the disco ball and Donna.
Lock that door. Throw a Triscuit down once in a while.
He loves
fine.
Triscuits.
He'll be fine.
Down there.
No, when I bought my Subaru, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I didn't watch a fucking L word.
That you were gay, or that it was a gay thing? No, I'm not kidding.
It was a gay thing.
Oh, okay.
And so I go and I get the Subaru, and all of a sudden I go to my boss. Her name was Nancy, gay as the day is long, and looks at me and goes, "Oh, did you get that because of the tennis player on the L word?" Fuck are you talking about? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Apparently, tennis player
Dana.
on the L word.
Dana.
Apparently.
Allegedly.
No,
legitimately.
had a Subaru.
And then died of breast cancer. It was very sad.
Oh, that's a lesbian stereotype too.
I'm selling
Because they smoke and don't have children, so the breast cancer is
Higher
big,
risk of
big
breast
in the
cancer,
in the lesbia, high risk of breast cancer.
I think that's science. I don't know that that's a stereotype. I believe that.
Can I?
I know. I'm like, seriously?
I believe that to
You
be
come out
science.
and you're like, well, I'm fucked.
It's a fine line.
Sorry, dear.
I want
between science
I want to
and
throw a little bit of
stereotype.
updated information out there in regards to a topic we were going over earlier in regards to Mr. Cosby and the allegations.
Oh, you were just recently raped by him?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Allegedly. You heard it here on NPR.
You're silent for 30 minutes and all of a sudden you're raped.
Model
That's how it
and model and TV
Victim.
host Janice Dickinson
Yeah.
has come out accusing him of assaulting her in 1982, according to NBC News.
Now, okay,
OMG.
That was
Janice
before
Dickinson.
all of the work.
Oh, okay, come on. And God bless her, and maybe she's suffering. We'll help her later. But first, This is the woman that the drag queen's been after for years with that. Welcome to my home. My vagina is so large I had to underline it. Caw-caw! No one likes to be imitated.
Look at the good you do.
Look at the good you do.
I just tattooed this cat this
Good
morning.
morning. I kidnap cats and tattoo eyebrows on them. Look at the good I do.
Kevin Dasso just posted, why do people live in Buffalo and when could they be in Phoenix?
Tell him to send that message to my family.
Seriously. When did your sister get here?
Saturday.
Sunday.
After the eat things in Phoenix contest.
Okay.
That cat,
Eat things in Phoenix contest.
that cat is a participant in it.
Yes.
See, I listened to the whole
I
story.
may or may not be
Eat
eating
local.
things. I don't know.
The Eat Local segment of the show.
I don't want to talk about it.
If you're eating me, you're eating local. You're
That's why I said I don't want
Hang
to
on,
talk
wait.
about it.
Say that again because I have to write that down.
If you're eating me, you're eating local. Enjoy.
If you're...
That'll be the next stop for Kat Carlson on her celebrity
Me.
tour.
Wait, I'm trying to spell
Nothing. Well, this will take for a while.
hijinks.
Hijinks. Now that's a pudding pop. I like it.
Well,
Janice Dickerson. Now her, I don't believe. 'Cause
Janice Dickinson is ratchet.
she is.
we've managed to make it out alive on the other end of 3 hours of nonstop
Danny
dribble
Rapier.
She's
and misinformation.
She's ratchet, bra.
I may just shut off all the mics and everybody else next week and you'll just
No,
listen to
but
me
you
for
gotta
3
tell them
hours.
to find the, Welcome to My Home, the parody.
Katie June will lose her mind.
Oh my God.
They take
I've
it
seen
down
that
off.
one.
They
We'll
take
post
it down
it.
off YouTube all the time.
We'll be back next week. Katie June joins us back in studio. 5 people drinking for 3 hours. Enjoy it. Log in, talk to us, chat with us. You'll love it. We're here every week, like it or not. But we'll leave you with this. We will see you next Tuesday.
Tell your friends.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.